Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the second match of round 3 of the Six Nations. England at home at Twickenham taking on Wales in what should be a very awesome contest. A stat that I did see just before this match is the fact that England, of their last 24 home games, they have only lost 2, one of which was a defeat to Scotland last year. But this should be an exciting contest. Like I mentioned, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got Fortnite Gamer, Pro Boy in the chat, also Johnny Blaze and Schmitty here for this one as well. We will look through the starting lineups. We will look at the reserves. Also, anyone who doesn't know about the result of the last game, I won't spoil it just yet. So I will actually show the table of how it was sitting before the last match that we did see of the Six Nations. So France, they were sitting on number 9, or in first, I should say, on 9 points. England in second, Ireland in third, Scotland in fourth on the 5 points, and then Wales sitting there on 4. Italy down the bottom, yet to get themselves their first try, or the first points, in fact, I should say, of the Six Nations. But these are the games that are coming up in the near history. And also we have got there, I do hope the whinging Palms don't win, says Wrinkleberger there. So currently that would be Wales away from home. And actually England at the moment on a 4-match winning streak at home up against Wales. I believe it's the second longest they have had up against the Welsh in recent history. So there's quite a few stats that would be broken here in terms of history making ones for the English, or for the Welsh if they can end up winning this game. At the moment is Freddie Stewart leading with the most carry meters out of anyone in the team. But we will get into that starting lineup of England right now. I'll show you guys that is Scotland, whereas the English, there they are. And this is the starting lineup that they have gone with. Ellis Genge, Luke Cowan, Dickey, and Kyle Sinclair are the front rowers. Charlie Yules getting to start at number 4 with Mara Toje transitioning back to number 5. He was actually at 6 in a couple of the games recently, or in fact just the one. Courtney Lawsey will be captain for this game at number 6. Tom Curry at 7, and then Alex Dombrand, the big man from the Quins, will get to be there at number 8. Harry Randall and Marcus Smith is going to be there at number 10. I've just realized there's a man missing. Like, I don't make these lineups, but who is that? Who's the invisible man at this point in time? And number 12, I'm going to have to make sure I do have the right name there. Interesting, he's disappeared, but with him, it's going to be Henry Slade at this point in time. I guess this sounds terrible. That's Tuolangi. Fortunately, injured once again for England. Jack Noel out on one wing, Max Malin's out on the other, and Freddie Stewart going to be there at number 15. The player who is missing at the moment for the English, I'm just going to get up the lineup and make sure I've got the right guy. It is going to be Elliot Daly, in fact, who is hiding, but Henry Slade's going to be playing at inside centre rather than outside centre. So I guess a late change there for England in their starting lineup. Then looking through at the Welsh starting lineup that they have gone with, and also Tuolangi boys cooking Umu's at Welford Road and hello, and Tupon Masterclass says Smitty, yeah, phenomenal player. And Tuan Tupon, that is for sure. Wyn Jones, Ryan Elias, and Thomas Francis as the front row there. Will Rowlands and Adam Beard as the 2 locks. Ross Moriarty, Tane Basham, and the return of Talupe Faletau. Going to be awesome to see him in action. He has been away for a little while with injury. Thomas Williams starting at 9, Dan Bigger at 10, Nick Tompkins, Owen Watkin making up the midfield, and then Alex Cuthbert out on one wing, Josh Adams out on the other, and then Liam Williams going to be slotting in there at number 15. But you're up very early. I've just realized, Johnny Blaze, for yourself. How early is it for you guys around the world? Do let me know. I know that some of you guys will have a nighttime game for this one, but for us in New Zealand, certainly an early morning start. How is Easthuizen not in the South African team? He walks in everywhere else, says Smitty. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal player. I assume that's Andre Esterhazen, isn't it? And also England will win. Mind you, I was wrong about the last one, says Bob Jobs. Was Bob Jobs, were you the one who said that it was going to be... Oh, no, that was Jack who said that it's going to be Jack Noel does score the opening try of this fixture. We will have to wait and see, though, who is going to be able to get the job done. Jamie George, Joe Marler, and Will Stewart, the replacement front row for England. Nick Ezekwe going to be there at 19, and Sam Simmons as number 20. Ben Youngs, if he makes his way out onto the park for this game, he will become the most capped English player ever to play rugby, passing a man on 114 caps. That is going to be a very impressive one for Ben Youngs if he does get that opportunity, which he will. Surely they will make the sub, even if it is last 10 minutes or so. George Ford and Elliot Daly was 23, so I assume that that's going to be changed to someone else being there. But for Wales will be Dewey Lake, Gareth Thomas, and Leon Brown as the front row. Seb Davies and Jack Morgan, Kieran Hardy, Gareth Anscombe, and then Jonathan Davis as the other man on the bench. But do let me know your score predictions. I have Morning Wood, says Johnny Blaze. Well, that is exciting for you. Also, Davies is a big miss for Wales there, says Smitty. So I assume Gareth Davies, that would be, wouldn't it? If I'm not wrong. There are so many Davies and Davis and just Jones. Jones is another very common name, of course, for Welsh in the past. But currently, the next week's games that we are going to get to see, they are very exciting ones. Or in fact, we don't have games next week, but it is the game after or the week after that they will be taking place. But I think I've waited long enough. France, they were able to defeat Scotland. So they now sit on 14 points, England on 6 points behind them. So there's a big gap. So that is why England will need to make sure that they win this game at Twickenham in front of a very large crowd by the looks of it. And Jay Davies says Smitty. So I believe, is he still coming off the bench, or is he missing? I see Benetton just scoring themselves a try up against the Sharks in their game, which they will be very happy about. And also, what time is this match in Ireland? Says my name is Pros. So I would say, depending on what time it is in Ireland at the moment, add a total of 8 minutes, then that's when kickoff will be taking place. Because I know that it is 5:45 a.m. here in New Zealand when it is starting. I think England's going to win, says Anderson there for the prediction. But do let me know your score predictions, ladies and gentlemen, and also who you think will be able to score the first try of this match. And coming back from injury, says Smithy. So yeah, he will probably not get a huge amount of time at the end of this game, but hopefully he gets some type of opportunity at 4:37 p.m. in Ireland. So it will be a 4:45 p.m. Irish kickoff this match. And then the game tomorrow night is going to be kicking off at 3 p.m. in Ireland. And we are going to be covering, it would actually be, it would be 3 p.m. in Ireland. And we are going to definitely be covering that game on the channel as Wales are overrated, says Smithy there. And Jones passes to Jones, who wraps around Jones, then offloads so beautifully to Jones. And then he passes to Lupe Filatel, says Johnny Blazer. That man will be very happy to be back for this one. And I believe it's going to be England here who will be the home side for this match. Like I mentioned, they've got a very good record at Twickenham, but Wales, they want to change that. They want to try and get themselves up there on the Six Nations table. Pretty much Wales winning this game would take England out of contention almost to be able to win the Six Nations, which is why it's a must-win for the English, but also a must-win for Wales. They want to get out of fifth place. Hey, howdy, hey, y'all, just making some coffee, says Katie Dixon. Good idea. It's currently 5:38 a.m. in New Zealand. I'm still very much so wide awake, though, which is always nice. Well, it's always nice. I should say, actually, Joe Marchant, number 23 for this match, but at the moment, Joe Marler got a big smile on his face. Joe is a common name in the English lineup. We were talking about this earlier on, how in the Brumbies, it's Tom, and in the French side, or in fact, in the Scottish side, was it Sam? One of the names was very common. And also, does anyone on the 8th or in the English team have a nice set of teeth? Says Luke, I don't know whether or not I can be one to comment on sets of teeth with my chompers, but I assume a couple of them probably do. Would have had braces at some point in time for them. I did not have braces. They said that my teeth were too wonky. No, they didn't. They just decided that I didn't need them. Joe Marler, I could get a haircut like him, perhaps. That would be a good option for myself. Although he makes it work because of the beard that he has got. At the moment, he's just counting to make sure that everyone is here. I believe they are making a nice little tunnel here for, who's it going to be? I believe it's 8 players that they have made a nice tunnel out of. Who's going to lead them? Is it going to be Ben Youngs? Kyle Sinclair, who does get to lead his team out of house at scrum. Lads, my sleepy eyes are in need of a strong brew of coffee. And Danny Kerr, I should have 100 caps for England, says Smithy there. And we are going to get to see 115 caps up for Ben Youngs if he does end up going out onto the field off the bench. But now there's a big round of applause for Kyle Sinclair. Ben Youngs gets to join him out there as well. They have sent him out because he has had a huge amount of matches. But now England making their way out there. Marcus Smith, the young fly half, will be one to watch out for in this game, alongside his other teammate and Alex Dombrandt, who has been phenomenal for the Harlequins as of late. Joe Marchant, also off the bench, will be one to look out for. Max Malins, great form for Saracens in the Gallagher Premiership. Freddie Stewart, most running meters out of any player in the competition. I believe Marcus Smith also on that list. But this is the starting lineup that England have gone with. Ellis Genge, Luke Gowan, Dickey, and Kyle Sinclair as the front row. Charlie Yules and Mara Doge will be there as the locks. Courtney Lawes gets captaincy for this match. Tom Curry at 7, Alex Dombrandt at number 8. Harry Randall starting at 9, Marcus Smith at 10. We'll have to really propel that backline to the next level in this matchup. Elliot Daly will be at 13, and Henry Slade actually moves to 12, who is missing at the moment from my lineup. Jack Knoll out on one wing, Max Malins out on the other, and then Freddie Stewart will be there at number 15. Looking through at the Welsh starting lineup, Wyn Jones, Ryan Elias, and Thomas Francis as the front row. Will Rowlands and Adam Beard as 4 and 5. Ross Moriarty, Tane Basham, and the return of Talupe Faletau after his long layoff with injury. Thomas Williams, Dan Bigger as 19. Tompkins and what can make up the midfield. And then Cuthbert, Adams, and Liam Williams are going to be the back three. And these are the benches that the two sides have decided to go with. And also Kyle Sinclair, 50th cap, and both captains played for the same club team. Says Smithy there. And that would, of course, be Northampton Saints, I believe. And let's go another stream. Says Goddamn, we have got plenty more coming. We've got the cricket a little bit later on that we are going to be covering on the channel also. And I mentioned it a little bit earlier on in the last live stream. I said that cricket live stream is going to be how long will Hamish be able to watch cricket till he falls asleep on live stream. Should be exciting until I fall asleep. Then that will become very unexciting because I'll just be sitting there with my eyes closed. Although something might happen, I might talk in my sleep. I have actually woken up before and had my mum be like, hey, who are you talking to on the phone at that random hour of the morning? And then I found out I was actually doing commentary in my dreams. She is dressed as a sunflower. Currently, we have got the Welsh national anthem. But yeah, sometimes I end up talking in my sleep, doing the commentary, which is why my voice, if I do have like a sore voice in the morning, I know why. Because I have been talking all night, and both captains played for the same club team in that one as well. But Courtney Laws as captain here, probably a little bit of a surprise. A lot of people probably thought Tom Curry still had that one locked in, but he's got very long arms. Courtney Laws, brilliant in a breakdown, but Twickenham, I'd say that we've got maybe about 60-40 split here. A lot of Welsh supporters in attendance for their side here, and hopefully Wales can put on a good show. Both sides would love to chase the bonus point of getting 4 or more tries. We did see France reward themselves with the bonus point in their last game up against Scotland, but they did miss out on it being able to get one themselves in that one, Scotland. But looking through at a little bit more of the information to do with this game, this is the English kind of results that they have had. They lost to Scotland in their first game, then they had Italy where they were able to beat them 33-0. Alongside that, England versus Ireland will be the next match we do get to see. That will be a Sunday 5:45 a.m. game in New Zealand. France versus England following that one. And then for Wales, normally I have got their information, but it's hiding. Unfortunately, we've actually only got 3 of the ones. Where's 12? 12 is missing. One moment. We're going to go here. There it is. I decided that it didn't want to pop up, but if I go like this and click this button, there we go. That is the Wales results that we have seen so far. Ireland were able to be victorious over them. Then they were able to beat Scotland 20 points to 17. It's been a relatively common scoreline in the Six Nations. Then they have got their big game up against France, and then closing out the Six Nations, they will be playing up against Italy for their final matchup. And come on, England, says Gianpaolo and Hamish. Why did I hear you say George T? Bag me, Mama Q. Says Johnny Blaze. Yeah, I'm glad I haven't quite said a sentence along those lines, but if I did, the thing is, if I did say that one, I don't know whether she would tell me or whether she'd just be like, you said some weird stuff in your sleep, didn't you? Courtney Laws first, a black English rugby captain, says Exxon. Not too sure. It's a good question. I'm not too sure about the history side of it in terms of the recent captains. Father man, my best mate abuses people in his sleep. It's probably the best thing I've ever seen, says Copter there. I mean, we did have a camp at school when one man, or one boy at that stage, he described one of the women in our year, or girls at that time, he described her as a robot, and he said that she was like a secret agent, and she was disguised as a student, but she was actually a robot, and he was telling us all about it in his sleep. He didn't remember it in the morning, but he was very confused at why we were allowing a robot on a school camp. And everyone else was confused at why he was talking in such kind of detail in his sleep as well, because he was pretty responsive in the way that he was responding about it. Yeah, couldn't remember a thing, poor fellow. Going all right now, firefighter, and also a builder, I believe. And now Marcus Smith going to be kicking off this game for England. I do see that we have got I thought he was Welsh. He must not be Welsh, though. I think it's Mike Adamson. He's actually Scottish, I believe. Now, kicking off this one from right to left hand. Come on, Wales, says Kaylee there. And at the moment, this is a perfect opportunity for the Welsh to try and get themselves a massive win. And Cymru, Bliff, or Baith. I feel like I've said that terribly, but it is go Wales, isn't it? Mike Adamson, former Scottish international for Sevens. I didn't actually realise he played rugby in the past. And one of, and also gathered intelligence on George, says Johnny Blaze. But now this one's going to be kicked off by England. And we are underway at Twickenham for round 3 of the Six Nations, almost retained by Jack Blow. It goes backwards on Mara Toje, extremely close to the touchline. And this is a frantic pace to start this game off for England, only sitting about 5 metres out now. I'm back across. Well recycled from Harry Randall. Good attack and run from Alex Dombrandt. They continue to get closer. Kaylee has got the English flag there, looking for the offload there. Marcus Smith trying to turn it over there for Wyn Jones. Not quite able to get. And Dan Bigger at the moment, he is asking some questions for the touchdown. He's going to have to be careful. He is going to fire up at them, or else he might get himself in a bit of trouble. Harry Randall once again going back across. Is that Jack? No. I think it was. Who decided that he did want to play a little bit of crash ball in the middle of the field. Going out once again from Harry Randall. And also we have got there from Katie Dixon, the coffees. The coffee is made. We are ready to go for this matchup. Short ball. It's going to be a little bit of obstruction. Accidental obstruction from Kyle Sinclair. Quick tap taken by Thomas Williams. And now Wales with the counter-attack on the 22-metre line. And Cuthbert making a couple of those extra meters. Mara Doge wins the penalty, and that could have been a big mistake for Wales, trying to take the quick tap. And now it has backfired, and England will have this one. Fend off the Pagans. Sport England, fend off Pagans, England. And there is Sebastian, although he has gone England for that one. I always feel weird saying England when I'm from New Zealand, and it's the middle of the night. But I feel like I can get behind them just as much as the next bloke. They say bloke in England, don't they? Geese. Cheeky geezer. So proud of my other large son, Alex Dombrandt. He is a cheeky geezer, Alex Dombrandt. He's a very talented player and just continues to go from strength to strength in his rugby career. And Marcus Smith now going to be lining up the three-pointer early on now. I think there's a little bit of rain falling at Twickenham by the looks of that. If I'm not wrong, I might have seen a couple of raindrops just trying to kind of show their presence early on. Hopefully it doesn't rain. And finally over. And there's his Aiden. Welcome back to Livestream I. I went and made a coffee and no milk and only nasty soy milk my missus drinks, says Johnny Blaze. And how's everyone doing? It's my first time I've actually had time today. Honestly, I've been at Australia's decides who's going to represent us this year at Eurovision for 2 days, says Aiden, and it's finally over. So it sounds like you've got your hands full at the moment. So I hope you are doing well, mate. And hey, brothers, how you do? For Gareth saying evening or welcome into the live stream. Marcus Smith fired up 3-0 now for England after only 2.5 minutes of this match. So it was originally the penalty one for Wales. They took the quick tap. Then England won the penalty in the form of Mara Toje. And now Wales won themselves 3-0 down. Not the start to the match that they would have been after. Definitely not after getting themselves that nice early penalty. Going up now. Taken nicely on the 22. Looking for this rolling more. Mara Toje at the back. Oh, it's going backwards here. Good defense from Wales, but the box kick is put up by Hannah. Oh, my goodness. This is why we need that dairy on wheels, says Katie Dixon. That is indeed. Now, Mara Toje knocks it back onto the side of Alex Dombrandt, and England have this one 40 metres out from their line now. Randall to recycle this one quickly out to Alice Genge. She's got a good step on him. Man who plays for the Leicester Tigers, but not for too much longer. He's going to the Bristol Bears. Two of the players, I believe it was actually Freddie Stewart, two of the players who were leading running meters, and Smith and Stewart linking up. Now Randall looking for the box kick. Like I mentioned earlier on, Ben Youngs. If he has a game here, he is actually going to be the most capped English international ever for rugby. I've just seen, I've just seen the result of France. Deary me. And there, says Sebastian. Yeah, it certainly changed. That's another penalty to England. And tied. It's been a long 2 days, but I couldn't resist Amish's commentator. It says Aiden. So yeah, if you all of a sudden go silent, we will know that you've possibly crashed and ended up going to sleep. But we have got the cricket a little bit later on. We are going to be doing on the channel also, hopefully. And that's going to be the case of am I going to fall asleep during it? But straight on the ball there for Alex Dombrandt wins the penalty. Good morning, or good early morning, says Aussie Mozzie. Geez, it will be for yourself, probably 3:50 a.m. is it over there in Australia, but currently Ross Moriarty going against him for not releasing. And 4 minutes in, Wayne Pivac, he'll be nervous with the start here. And I actually saw another stat, and that is that in the last, I think it's 11 encounters between these two sides at Twickenham, Wales have never been leading at halftime. Never had that lead. So that is something, of course, that they want to change it. I'm just going to make sure I've got that stat correct. A moment. Wales have never led at halftime in the Guinness Six Nation match against England at Twickenham in the 11 matches. It's a big stat to have, and someone buy me a Red Bull. I really do need some wings, says Aiden, and 251 in Queensland. No E of that daylight savings here. So, yeah, you guys are 3 hours behind. That's gone over from Marcus Smith, and now the score's 6-0 for England. So these are just freebie points at the moment, and they're probably points that they cannot afford to be given up nice and early on in this game. Wales, like I mentioned, never leading at halftime. You can't afford threes after threes after threes. Another 3 counts as a converter try and some that they do have to make back up. We're only 5 minutes into this game, taken nicely there by Charlie Yules. Almost stolen by Wales. Not quite, though. I think it was Will Rowlands trying to get in there. By the way, did Hodge score a try and did the Rebels win, says Aiden? You're not going to like this too much. Reece Hodge got red-carded and the Rebels lost by about 30 points, but hope you had a great day. Didn't quite go their way, that is for sure. And also KFC have decent wings. No need for a Red Bull, says Sebastian. That one has been kicked high once again. Now Wales claiming this one on the halfway line in the form of Liam Williams. Tackled by Curry, though, driven backwards. So we're going to be available for them to try and make a few extra meters. Ryan Elias, a player who I feel will be able to score a try some stage throughout this match. Is he injured? No, he's gone up. Oh, thought for a second he was staying down. I mean, not quite taken by Freddie Stewart. Bounces up now. Nick Tompkin kicks it. I believe maybe just a little bit in the lead. What's that, number 13 in terms of being a bit ahead. Now Elliot Daly, huge pressure on him. Does end up just getting pushed out. And now it is going to be a 5-meter scrum in favour of Wales. Great chase. And come on, you England, in there, says TS. But Liam Williams, he jumps up for it. He ended up kicking his own player. Then from there, Freddie Stewart, he went up for the ball, didn't quite take it cleanly. And then from there, he was flat for that one, Owen Watkin. But they did say he was just in behind. And then Elliot Daly, not really too many options. He was thinking about trying to kick it. It just wasn't going to work out for him, though. He might have ended up putting them under even more pressure than they already had. But now 5 meters out here for Wales, a perfect attacking opportunity to try and get those 6 points back and maybe add an extra one to their arsenal as well. And I've been pretty good so far. I mean, it's the first week I haven't placed a rugby bet. Are you proud of me? I am very proud of you, Aiden. And hopefully, you have been enjoying, I guess, a little bit more of the chilled out, not having to worry about being on the edge of your seat for all the games. And decent crowd at Twickenham, I assume, says Sebastian. Yeah, I believe probably about 90% full at this stage, maybe even closer to that 100. Will Adamson not too happy with the space that they've got in that scrum. I'm not too sure who that is in the English 4-pack, but he's just swearing flat out, trying to fire up everyone. There were about 4 F-bombs thrown in that one, but they're fired up now, I guess is a good point. And they will need to be because they're 5 meters out. That's once again, now that's going to be a free kick. Do they take it quickly here for Wales, or do they decide that maybe it is worth resetting the scrum? It doesn't look too stable at the moment for them. I'm guessing that you thought I had a lot of money on Hodge and the Rebels. I had a slight suspicion maybe it was the case, but it was a good decision not to put money on them because, yeah, not a good game for the Rebels. It actually, they were coming in as even when it came to the betting odds. And I see that Bath just played. I'm not going to say whether or not they won or lost because I realize that some of you guys do enjoy watching the Premiership after, but they were playing Newcastle. I saw a notification come through saying about the fact that they are at full time up against the Newcastle Falcons. I won't say the result, I won't say the score or anything like that, but that game has just concluded in the Gallagher Premiership. And when you're unable to put together a sentence using or when you're unable to put together a sentence without using an F word, I feel like that's every tradie in New Zealand and Australia ever. Like whether you're a builder, a plumber, like you just drop them for fun. Well, not really for fun. They just come off as second nature. Like I can't imagine how these streams would go if I was swearing every second word. Like I feel like it would be funny for myself. This is going to be another scrum reset. Time is off at the moment. These guys don't like each other in the front rows. They aren't working very well. Is Callaway back yet, or is it next week? I believe it's next week that we will see Andrew Callaway make his return. But we have to wait a little bit longer till we get to see him in action, sadly, which is a shame because, of course, we do love seeing him there. And also, please, there's Gillian there. And come on, Kumru. from Claire. And Blues also didn't have a good day either, says Aiden. And also tradies, if that, yeah, that's so true, bro, says Johnny. And as a tradie himself, that's a penalty there to England. No, it's a penalty to Wales. No, you can't take that. Right. So the referee put up his wrong arm there. So England were celebrating. Then after that, he switched his arm to Wales. The Welsh number 9, Thomas Williams, takes the quick tap and then scores the try, but it's going to be disallowed. So Adamson blows the whistle and says that England wins it. Then he goes, no, actually, it's Wales who won it. And by that stage, Wales had taken the quick tap, so they're going to have themselves a 5-metre line out there. That's a big mistake to make from Mike Adamson. You don't want to be teasing a side like that, saying that you've won a penalty and then take it away from them when they're celebrating and let the other side take the quick tap. So now there's going to be 5 metres out here. Adam Baird been able to claim that one nicely and trying to get this one rolling forward. Ryan Elias at the back. And controversy, ladies and gents, it certainly was. That one's gone down. It's going to be another advantage now for Wales. Thomas Williams trying to get this one out the back. I believe Tom Curry's got him well and truly held there. And it will be going back, or is it? Is the ball out? Yes, it is. Still going to be available for them, but they've still got the advantage here, Wales. Looking to build their way into a few phases. And also, so there's no Super Rugby tomorrow. None at all because of the Blues versus Hurricanes game getting brought forward a little bit. Nick Tompkin now runs straight into his own player. And they will be going back for the penalty. And Nick Tompkin yelling straight at Ross Moriarty. What's he going to do about it? He was just there in support. If you're running sideways, not his fault. Damn bigger now. They're kicking it into touch. Mike Edison is the rest that explains everything. The most hated ref in Australia. Not just Australia. He's got a few other countries that he has been ticking off as of late also. And also we have got there, there's a flag over the flag. I assume that's England over Wales, but they come through as just black flags for some reason on there. But I assume that is England over Wales. Wales at the moment, Ryan Elias be feeding this ball in once again now. Goes to the front. It's an awkward one, and it does actually pop up for England. We've been able to turn this ball over, and now they will look to exit their own 22 without too much trouble at all. And also Adamson is a womble. I think that's the first time I've heard that saying, and I do like it. I'm probably going to use it again at some stage. And they put up now Harry Randall, kicking it down. Bell doesn't find touch with it. Instead, now taken by Cuthbert. Pass it across. Nice little set play between him and Williams. Now Cuthbert bouncing out of the tackle. Charging back. Marcus Smith not able to catch him. Got the man on the outside. Buzz through Freddie Stewart, who has got back to his feet. He's done well because he was bumped off big time. Now Luke Cowan-Dickie, he's saying he can't move. It's a penalty to England. Inside of the 22. Number 2 there. What happened there? Holding on. I think they said, come on, Wales. Don't let England beat you. And there says Rinkelberg, and did France beat Scotland? They did indeed. In the end, they actually beat them quite comfortably, about 30. One moment, I've got the score. 36 points to 17 in the end for that match. Alex Cuthbert, he's looked dangerous throughout the early stages. And Katie, why are you being so, why are you being quiet in there? Says Aiden, she's probably drinking her coffee, so maybe it's harder to type with just the one hand, depending on what she's on. She might be on her laptop, won't want to spill it on there, I wouldn't think. But now Luke Cowan-Dickie be throwing this one in 13 minutes into it. And just getting repositioned there by the touch judge. Now he is going to be throwing this one in for Luke Cowan-Dickie. Goes to the back to Maro Itoje. I'm eating so much toast right now, says Katie Dixon there. So that makes sense. Now trying to get this rolling more going forward here for England. Luke Cowan-Dickie at the back. It's looking good for them. Ross Moriarty been able to cut it round. No, he has to release. And like a hideous abundance of toast. And there's this Katie. And also Joe Marler would call him a wobble to his face. Couldn't care less there. That's going to be another penalty to England now. Continuing to just slowly creep their way up the field. They were inside of their own 22. Now they're up to the halfway line with another kick. And Ross Moriarty in through the side. It's been penalised for that one. And Katie, Katie, stop drinking coffee. I thought you were a girl that loves her bourbon. And there says it was Aiden, and also, and I call him to his face, says Claire. I feel like that must be a brutal reality being a referee, thinking you've had a good game. Then as you're exiting through the tunnel, someone just yells in your face, hey, mate, you're an absolute womble. I feel like I could say it. It is currently 6 a.m., so I should be able to swear, well, not swear, but just say some words, and also ATOD, abbreviated toast overdose. And there, how much toast is too much toast? I feel like that's a good question. Like, how many bits of toast do you guys have if you do have toast? Do let me know. I'm normally a 2 toast kind of guy. That's going to be bouncing up for Freddie Stewart. Now 40 meters out from his own line, moving up to the 50. He's dragged down by Nick Goodwin? Nick Tompkins, that's the name. I think I had a Nick Goodwin in my cricket team. Also, JK, it's too early for bourbon there. And yeah, I had like bourbon, but it turns out hot diarrhea is not for me, says Katie. And also ATOD. And yeah, but now currently Alice Gens gets back up. I mean, knocked down Harry Randall, still has this one, firing it back now to Alex Dombrandt. Takes contact, tries to bump through. And also good work, says Gregor Galway. And calling refs is traditional. It's going to be another penalty to England for not moving away. Ross Moriarty this time penalised for about the 3rd time in this matchup now. Marcus Smith, he has certainly got the quick feet that they can create line breaks. He went round Adam Beard and Katie always make me have a smile or laugh in there. And Hag hot ass gravy. And there's Sebastian, and anything more than 2 slices of those is going to be painful later, says Exana. And also we have got there, let's go Wales, says West Side. Yeah, I feel like pizza, on the other hand, though, 2 slices, is it enough? That's the other side. I'm 2 toast, loads of real Welsh salted butter. And there says Clear. Now, Marcus Smith going to be lining up this one. Currently match stats. This will be his 3rd kick. 82% predicted kick for this one to go over. Historic success rate, all kickers, is 81%. And is French toast toast or not? That's deep. That's real deep. I would say it's not really, but it is at the same time. It's kind of like, I know that in England they call it eggy bread. If I'm not wrong, someone from England will be able to help me out there. You probably don't call it eggy bread, and I've just heard someone say it once and think that's what everyone calls it. I think it's called eggy bread, though. Marcus Smith, he misses. I could have told you that one was missing. After they said 82% chance of this one going over, I thought, nah. Going away to the side in England playing, watch out for Sex Bomb. And there says Gareth, England playing, watch out for Sex Bomb. Who is Sex Bomb? Sex Bomb. Who is Sex? Max, is it Max Malins? And Wales need to get a grip on this game. It's flying away at the moment, says Ben. Yeah, it just seems like all momentum is going in favour of England, and also eggy bread ain't toast is clear there. So yeah, I guess it's just kind of like French toast, I think, is our simple way of saying it's just egg and bread. And it's kind of crispy. I guess, yeah, like food's weird when you think about it. And now out the back line, Henry Slade not quite linking up with Max Malins on the outside here. 40 meters out from the line, and they will continue to try and build themselves into a few more quick plays here. Maybe no, they go for the kick. And also French toast is just lazy pancakes in there. And also Gypsy Toast, says Gareth. I feel like we're learning all the names for it, aren't we? That one has bounce. You don't normally let the ball bounce unless you want to lose it. That was knocked on by Courtney Laws, I thought, but they are going to be playing on from the halfway line now. Harry Randall kicks it in mind, looking for maybe a 50-22. It goes into touch. It's going to be a big decision to make. Liam Williams now tackled only 10 meters out from his line. Tom Curry also in the breakdown. Can they turn it over? The ball's gone into touch. And I'll say, yeah, that's the other word. Oh, that's the other word, says Claire. And also, Katie, stop it. You're incredibly funny today. What has happened to you, says Hayden. Crowd is booing at Twickenham at the moment. It could be the fact that you're also overtired, Aiden. I feel like everything becomes even things that are funny become 10 times funnier when you haven't slept for ages. Like you could laugh at someone literally just talking if you haven't slept for 24 hours. So that's going to be me during the cricket. I'll be laughing at random words. And my mum might be joining me for those ones. Hopefully she does. I'll be able to fall asleep and she'll be able to continue the commentary. I just lean up against the wall with the pillow. But England now, looks like they will be going for the rolling maul more than likely, yeah, if they do get this line out successful, which they do. It was a rough one, though, so they weren't able to rolling maul it. Now Henry Slade stepping back on the inside. I'm looking out for Jack Knoll here. Might be a good option, although it looks like England will be using their big forwards in the form of Mara Toje, dragged down, though, by Wyn Jones. Ross Moriarty's ended up in the wrong place once again. He might almost get penalised for it. No, it is still available for them. Courtney Laws goes back. And who's playing cricket, says Wrinkleberger. It is New Zealand and South Africa in a test match that we have got on. It is going to be day 3. I was up at 1 a.m. today, but no Amish, says Gareth. Oh, that one is Harry Randall now going back to Courtney Laws. See, that's the thing. This is a weird time of the night or morning because it's 6 a.m., but it's my morning almost, even though I've been up for like 16 hours because I've still got plenty more time. Did he get that one down? They've said no just for now. Harry Randall, though, it's like he's going to be setting up for Luke Cowan, Dickey. Big forwards, can they get? He's dropped it. He's put it down. Still going to be there for them. And the series still going. Feels like it's been on for ages. And there, yeah, we have still got another 3 days. They're going to be going upstairs. I swear that player almost got that ball down. And Luke Cowan, Dickey checking this one. I got the old Gigglebone going, I guess. Says Katie Dixon. And also, was it the try for... Okay, no. That one was not down in the end for Charlie Hills and no run. And there says Aiden. And also, that's true. I went to a stand-up gig once, pissed and tired. There were some jokes only I was laughing at. I feel like that must be the awkwardest situation when you are the only one laughing at I guess a stand-up comedy one. And Hammering Coming said Bob Jobs there. Currently, Courtney Laws. He had to work hard to try and get himself that one. Currently, Laws. Snap back across to Kyle Sinclair. Looked like he almost got his wind taken out of him by Dan Bigger, but he's still out there, still flying around the field. We're actually up to 20 minutes in this game. It's flown by. It's still dark outside here in New Zealand, but it's not too far away. And Katie should go on Gogglebox with Hamish Cycle Live 24/7. What is Gogglebox? I've heard of it, never watched it though. Should we do a Kiwi Lads Gogglebox, whatever it is? I hope I know what it is by the time we do it, or else that would be an interesting video trying to guess what a Gogglebox is. And no props or hookers have gone off for life-threatening injuries, right, says Katie Dixon. Not in this game. Yui Antonio, though, in the last one, did end up having a groin injury, so he went off the field, which was unfortunate. Right. What we checking this time for Mike Adamson? I think he's lining up something on the TMO. We think there might be a hand on the ground spilling the ball out, was the comment there from Mike Adamson. And it's a bit awkward, but being pissed and tired helps deal with the awkwardness as well. And I know it, says Katie Dixon there. Okay, they're going to be checking this one to see whether or not there is a ball or a hand underneath the ball when it does spill out the back. At the moment, we are just seeing Liam Williams. I think that's Liam Williams' hands been. He's actually slapped that one down. Yeah, nah, that's not allowed, Liam Williams, you cheeky boy. I think that's going to be probably a yellow card for him. And also, I like to Petos on toast, or Petoast on toast, I think that is. Okay, penalty against Wales, and Liam Williams goes to the bin for 10 minutes. So you're basically watching people watch TV. I see. So it's kind of like a reaction video on YouTube, except very much extended. You just watch over random videos. I'll be keen for that. I like videos. Also, oh my God, my jawbone has swung around the back of his head, or his jawbone just swung around the back of his head. Says Katie, and also Gogglebox is the stupidest idea invented in recent times. You watch people watching telly. Wait, you watch people watching telly. So you're not even watching telly yourself. You're actually watching someone else watch it then. So what do you talk about their reaction, or do you talk about what's on the telly? HIA there on Thomas Francis. He did take quite a knock on the chin. He is going to be going off the field now. Currently 9 minutes left of the Liam Williams card. It looks like they are going to be going for the scrum here for England. I'm going to be yawning. And also, Aiden, yes, Gogglebox is funny AF. And there says Claire, and also we have got there, is it like MST3K? Is that Mystique? And now Leon Brown plays for the Dragons in the URC, now gets the opportunity for Wales. A lot earlier in this game than he would have been expecting, that is for sure. Currently 5 meters out, and it's going to be a good attacking opportunity. I see Jack Knoll positioning himself straight behind the scrum. And then they've also got the option. I think that's actually Henry Slade out there. I'm not too sure what the set play they are going to be going with. I would say more than likely, I think they go short side here. Don Brand off the back, then to Slade, quick hands to Noah, and that's how they'll score it, is my prediction. It's probably going to be very wrong. They'll probably go out the other side. It's going to be a little bit loose. And everyone going down on the front row. So we are going to have the replay. And also Mystery Science Theatre 3000. I don't know what you're saying, Katie, but it's incredibly funny. Says Aiden. Aiden, have you been drinking? Probably not. I think it's just the Mystery Science Theatre 3000 there. Liam Williams off the field for the next 8 minutes. Now, this is using up quite a bit of time with that yellow card. And currently now Mike Adamson saying, be sure to use the ball when it's available. They're a little bit further across now in front of the post, but I'm seeing Jack Knoll. He's looking ready, and LMAO, he's hitting the sauce in there, says Katie. It's going to be a free kick. No, it's going to be the time off. Front row is going to get a telling off. I think he's pissed. This is clear. I listen to this in Thailand because I can't watch it here in my shitty hostel, says DS. So hopefully we are doing all right with the commentary side of it. Only 22 and a half minutes through. We've got about 3 scrum resets in a row here, so not too much has been happening. They're moving once again here. Right. Okay, Mike Adamson has said both front rows doing what they shouldn't be, sorted out, or else I'm going to get really annoyed. I'm sure that was his exact words. And come on the Roses, says Trevor. And a fun stat that you all like in their, I guess you could say in their favour, is the fact that they have never, in all of their games up against Wales at Twickenham, been losing at half-time. And also, I'm just tired. Guys, chill out, says Aiden there. Currently now, penalty to Wales. 5 metres out, and it's Cole Sinclair gets penalised. Cruzy Boy has said hello. And then who's dominating at the moment? I would say England are dominating in the penalty count, although they've just given away that penalty. So it probably was a bit of a relief. But I hope you are doing well. And there, Cruzy Boy. Geez, you're up early for a Sunday morning. And also, come on, Wales, please, says Claire, and they have done just that. And also post that comment as a review for the hostel on booking. And there, says Sebastian. I mean, it would be an interesting one to see in their reviews, of course. Just someone saying about, I guess, because that's the thing. If you're in, like, somewhere that isn't the kind of main places, where do you watch the Six Nations? I don't watch it. I'm blind drunk. And there says Eric there. And also, Alamo, nah, I just hit the bong a few minutes ago. To battles, says KG. And also, yes, penalty, whoop, whoop. Now currently going to be 25 metres out from their own line here, Wales. They will still need to try and build up a little bit further up the field, though. They won't be able to kick this one out on the full either. Nice to Adam Baird. And the rolling maul does begin. Ryan Elias at the back. We've gone 23 minutes here between these two sides without a single try being scored, but 2 penalty kicks going over from Marcus Smith. Also missing one, though, which would have given England the 9-point lead. Changing his line a little bit there. I believe it was Harry Randall now going across to the hands of Jack Knoll. His first big carries in a bit of open space. They have been told to release him. See, Jonathan Davies actually out on the field currently. I believe that was for either the HIA, something along those lines. But now Alex Dombrandt, Pearson on the inside, tackled by Cuthbert, who strips the ball. In fact, it's Tane Basham. Now makes his way up to the halfway line. Mara Toje trying to get that ball, hasn't quite been able to do so. Thomas Williams goes across the Beard. Currently 15 metres out from the opposition line here. Damn, bigger passes it nicely. They've got a man way out on the wing. I've just realised they're missing Lewis Rees-Salmon, aren't they? I was imagining also Owen Lane is another player. Now Mara Toje goes back. It's a knock-on advantage in favour of England. Harry Randall goes back to Cowan Dickey. He puts that one down. And Katie, is there Mystery Science Theatre 3000? What does that mean in there, says Aidan? That's a great question. I did not think that the Hurricanes would beat the Blues. It was an incredible game. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend checking it out. And if Wales can stay within 10 points by halftime, I'd take that. Says Ben there, and currently now on the halfway line, it will be the scrum feed for England. And Alex, I swear he was Stretch Armstrong's arms. And there says Katie Dixon, who sat down at the moment? I think that's Luke Cowan Dickey. He's actually had quite a few injury troubles as of late. Alex Dombrandt just pushes off. Brilliantly done by Tane Basham, though. And also we have got there, Carly said, I will give you $1,000 if you say hi. Right. $1,000 is a lot for just saying hi, but hello. Oh, sorry, I said hello. That's not hi, is it? Hi, Carly Ellis. 1,000 is a good price for that. I feel like that's what celebrities get paid, isn't it? And also the K is 3,000, so 3K. And I thanks Carly. And also, when are you watching the Six Nations game, or where are you watching the Six Nations games? I am watching it on Sky Sport 1 here and New Zealand. Possession in this first half so far has been England 70% compared to the 30% of Wales. So they haven't had a huge amount of possession for themselves. And if Wales can get out of this yellow card without having any more points against them and maybe avoiding any type of try, still right in this game at Twickenham for this matchup. But anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be back tomorrow night with Ireland taking on Italy. What should be a great matchup. We're already 25 minutes through this game, and I started to know Welsh boys haven't mentioned Welsh rabbit. Rabbit. What is rabbit? I feel like I do not know the analogy, but I should probably. Rabbit. Welsh rabbit. Rabbit. Am I gonna? If I say it 5 times, that probably won't help me, will it? Rabbit. Is it a frog? No. Sorry, I probably said it too many times. It also is, it's an old late 80s, 90s show about this guy trapped in space station by a mad scientist and forced to watch bad movies. He makes robot companions to keep him company and riffs the films in there. And also, iCarly says Ben. And also, Food says Gavin. Welsh rarebit. And it's absolutely hysterical, and it's my favorite show on this whole dang planet. So, food. What type of food is it? Welsh rarebit. I'm going to look it up while we're at it. Welsh rarebit. A dish. I can see it here. What is that? Wait. I'm looking at a few. Is it cheese on toast? Is it cheese on toast? Along those lines. And also, iCarly, is it cool if we make that your nickname from now on? Says Aidan. Also, we have got there. What would you say is the average TV rating for a Six Nation game in New Zealand, Hamish? I guess I'd need to see Super Rugby numbers as well, but I assume it's less than Super Rugby, but probably more than the URC. And scandalous like iCarly filming girls in changing rooms as on there, says Katie Dixon. And also cheese and toast, or cheese on toast, buddy, says Black Belt Jones. Looks all right, to be fair. That one's got beer and Worcester sauce in it. White bread, egg, cayenne pepper, I assume that is, or something along those lines. So it's got beer in it. So it's pretty much a beery bread. Beery bread's got a ring to it. I know it's just food. I can't remember what it is, says Gavin. And also it's toast with cheese, tomato, and sauce, says Eric. And beer by the looks of it. Oh, no, some of them don't have beer. And also, have you asleep, says Cruisy Boy. Not since yesterday. And I don't think we're going to be sleeping till later on tonight. Probably at around 6 after the cricket. And I was like, don't mind if I join Katie. And then there. And also we have got a link for a spamming thing. And also we have got there a Mystique in there, I assume that is. Although I think I've said it wrong once again for the May 5. But welcome in. Livestream, hope you're doing well. I'm sorry. And then there says good boy, no worries at all, mate. But yeah, we have got another cricket livestream, and then we are going straight to sleep. Cheese on toast with hot sauce is the only way to live, says Ben there. About sweet chili sauce, would you accept sweet chili sauce rather than chili sauce per se? And also, do you know what haggis? Oh, you know what haggis is, right? That's a good kick in behind from England. That is what that one was. But yeah, I do know haggis. I haven't tried it. I had the opportunity to try it at a Tartan or Highland Games. I actually took part in at primary school, which had like big pole tossing. It sounds weird, doesn't it? But like it was the big like totem pole. He had to try and flip it. And then also tug of war. My team won tug of war. And is there a game on, says Eric? There is at the moment, sitting 25 points. Or sorry, not 25 points, 25 minutes and 6-0. We've had quite a few stoppages though. Alex Dombrand taking that one nicely, but we've got another stoppage. And Tom Servo for life. And then also Cisno's there, and it tastes like, says Black Belt Jones, but now currently claimed by Wales. And yeah, the last little probably 5 or 10 minutes, we've had so many stoppages between the two sides. There's actually only 4 minutes left of the yellow card of Liam Williams, and we've had about 4 phases in that time, but now going to be fired up for what Thomas Williams puts it in behind. Taken nicely by Jack Noel, now running sideways, got a bit of pace going. Taken by Nick Tompkins in the midfield. Currently 45 metres out, Tom Curry. One more out to Henry Slade, Alex Dombrand. No, it was Max Malins who juggles it. And now Josh Adams going to be running it sideways. Good low tackle on him by Courtney Laws. Now Thomas Williams flings it out the back line. Cuthbert now in a bit of space. Jack Noel misses the tackle. Flicks it out the back. Now Ross Moriarty up to 40 metres out, still driving 40. A great run from Wales. The ball's been stripped and it's back on the side now. Maro Doge knocks the ball on. It's an advantage, or is it what we are going back for? It's going to be England to get the knock on. And also, your channel has grown a lot since I subbed at 1K or 2K. And as says Crazy Boy, yeah, it has gone just rapidly up, and it's just absolutely incredible the amount of support you guys have been showing. And pole tossing in primary school, a bit of a wild boy when we Irish. Says Sebastian, yeah, I realised as I said it didn't sound right, did it? And you couldn't pay me to try haggis. Says Gavin, I think it's the idea of haggis. Like, it might be very nice, but it's the idea of it. But then saying that, we eat sausages, and some sausages have got like parts of the like kind of the wrapping of them. I'm not going to go too in depth just in case people really like sausages and don't know what they're made of. And I was like, okay, at work, barely paying attention per usual as match days or on match days, says the May 5. And also so glad you're here now, sis. And tell your boss I'm on your way, or on my way in my Lamborghini to pick you up. We're going on a road trip to Leeds. Says Katie Dixon, a sheep's stomach, yeah. So, like, it's one of those ones, I don't know whether I would ever be willing to try haggis. They did have it at that kind of Titan, or not Titan games, but it was some sort of competition where I pretty much picked all of the, like, kind of strongest children from my primary school. I was also at primary school, so it was all right. I wasn't scouting them out as an adult, but cross kick, Max Malin's not able to take it. It's going to be the knock on. I believe now the line-out throw will go the way of Wales. Only 1 minute 50 left of this one. I'm trying to get to 100 subs on my channel. So yeah, says Greasy Boy, how many are you on at the moment? I know you've been doing a few. Have you got more Rocket League videos? You're getting paid in sausages. It's a grand idea. You don't have to pay tax, says Sebastian. I guess that's true. Well, the government might want like 2 of your sausages out of every dozen that you make or something like that. The thing is, when you think about it, that's what tax is really. Not completely, of course. But Thomas Francis making his way back out onto the field due to passing his HIA. Like, literally, like, tax is, I'm going to cook myself a pizza, but I'm going to give the government a slice. So it's just being generous with your food, but not really. And 68 subs, cheese on toast with Worcester sauce sprinkled and grilled, says Robert Henry there. Currently, England are going to have this one almost turned over. I think it was Tompkin trying to get in there, or maybe actually Cuthbert. Imagine paying your taxes in sausages. It would be an interesting scenario, walking in saying, can I just use these as payment? Henry Slade, great steps there, trying to go through the gap. At the moment, we are 29 minutes into this game. Neither side being able to score themselves a try. And if England don't score while Liam Williams is off the field, I feel like that will dishearten them just a little bit. Still have a 6-point lead, but only 50 seconds left of that yellow. And tax was introduced in the UK to fund a war against France. Good old times, says Sebastian there. Going to be kicked high. Jack Noel looks like he is going to be chasing this one. Does end up taking it nicely. Cuthbert pops back up to his feet. Currently 10 minutes left in this first half. Big hit on Tame Basham by Laws and Tom Curry. The 2 loose forwards. Penalty to England. Right. You've got 29 seconds without Liam Williams out on the field. Do you go for the corner, or do you take the 3 and get 9 points ahead? And where is this match being played at? It is at Twickenham, a ground that Wales have never led at halftime in a matchup in the Six Nations. There's a big hit, though, on Tame Basham. Then straight in there, I believe it was Alex Dombrand who was just sealed off by Will Rowlands, and big Twickenham in there. And Haggis is nice. That's from a POM to you guys, says Robert Henry. See, I feel like I would like to try it. I just don't think I've got the confidence to, like, put it on the fork. Like, that part going from there to there is the scariest part of it. You'd be like, and it would take me like 10 minutes to put it in my mouth. What do you think of the strategy adopted by so many teams since South Africa won the World Cup? Excessive kicking from the scrum or ruck works with the quality of Faf de Klerk opinion, says Gavin. I like seeing a little bit of the kicking game, although some teams do like to use it a tad too much, I will say at times. And I think South Africa in that last game up against the All Blacks, they found that balance of box kick, but also being able to run the ball. Because if you can run the ball, then I guess it does end up bringing up that defense a little bit further, because they think, right, we're going to have to try and shut down this line break. Then you kick it in behind them and see if you can kind of give yourself a good opportunity. I've completely turned down my coverage. Here we go. It's loud in my eardrums now, but it's 9-0 for a game. I'm surprised it's very low scoring. Says Aiden, extremely even in these early stages of the match. Jack Noel, grabbing that one for England. And now Liam Williams back on there. I'm back. My YouTube crashed. And there's Scroozy Boy and Love Haggis says clear. But currently now continuing. Try and make their way forward. Harry Randall rolls it back. And this one is also going to be the box kick. Well, Rowland's trying to charge it down, not quite able to. It's going close to the touchline. Liam Williams up and under, and he's taking it beautifully. One of the best players around when it comes to under the high ball. And at Liam Williams, now Dan Bigger passes across the Beard. Ross Moriarty met by Slade. And also, it was Elliot Daly who does get to start this match at 13. Originally wasn't going to be coming off the bench, but has been promoted into the starting lineup now. Going back, Dan Bigger looking to kick instead. Now passes it almost forward off the bounce. Now out to Cuthbert, bumping out of the tackle. Jack Noel out to Liam Williams. So at the dummy as if he was passing on the inside, decided against the Mara Doge. Almost able to turn it over, but just not quite on the halfway line now. 32 minutes into this one. Still another 8 minutes left. Thomas Williams going out to the right-hand side. Bigger off to Basham. 6 phases in now for Wales as they continue to build up their phase play. Short ball from Tompkins. And now Courtney Laws straight in the breakdown. That was close to turning it over. Just not quite able to get their hands on the ball, though, rather the player. Now trying to pierce his way through. Floated back once again. And loose ball. It's a knock-on advantage here to Wales. Talafal down the wing. Tries to kick it into touch in 7 minutes to halftime. And it's boot baller. And I was like, can you sing us, or can you please sing us a lullaby? Says Aiden, I feel like me singing a lullaby would probably wake you up more than probably put you to sleep, just because like my voice at the moment, for one, sounds dreadful. Well, it will be anyway at the end of this one, but hopefully it sticks around for the rest of this live stream. But after that, it's going to be going in limbo for a few hours. Then we've got test match cricket. I think that strategy is really dependent on the great scrum half's accuracy is critical. Exactly right. Like, I feel like that's the big thing with when they switch out to Clerk and then they'd end up going either Herschel Yankees or also Kobus Ronak. It's just a completely different player. Like, if you can get it in the right place, it can be dangerous. And if you get it just outside of that 22, if you're kicking it from inside of the half of the opposition, it does end up giving you a little bit of purchase. But if you don't get it right, it's just pretty much giving the ball straight back to the opposition. Thomas Williams now back to Dan Bigger. Tompkins taking nice little overlap, wrapping around was Bigger. Now Liam Williams out on the wing to Cuthbert, who's a very strong individual, though his knees have just been taken out, which is probably going to make him a little bit slower. Bigger now back across, almost tackled without the ball there, I believe. I was Tane Basham, but he just gets back up. Goes again, Cuthbert breaking a tackle. Good tackle on him by Henry Slade. Now Courtney Laws not able to turn it over. Wales moving their way up to the 22. If they get a try now, we'll keep them right in this game. I'm tired, says Cruzy Boy. You are up very early for New Zealand time now. This is a good backline movement. Going to be forward with Nick Tompkins. Up to 7 phases, up to the 22 now. Bigger fires the flat pass. Josh Adams skip pass out to Basham, lined up by Elliot Daly, and what was an absolutely fantastic tackle from him. And also, how much for George to sing for us. A night of George singing would be an incredible night. One night only concert sponsored by the Kiwi Lads. Says Aiden, we're probably talking, for me to convince George to want to do it, you're probably talking thousands. Like, and that's not even an exaggeration. Freddie Stewart gets that one only just out from his line. Brilliant kick there from Freddie Stewart, going close to a 50-22. It's gone just outside of the 22. No, it's taken back by Dan Bigger, and now he is able to kick it downfield into touch. Marcus Smith takes it quickly there, and it's just going to be a back and forth one. Jack Noel with a lot of space now, trying to run it straight sideways, trying to go straight through, and he does. Jack Noel then lined up by Adam Beard on the halfway line. And he wants to be drunk. And there, that is true. Back to behind now. Close to a 50-22. And it is for England. And now that will give them a great opportunity being able to go towards a rolling ball. As Marcus Smith playing, says Jabez, he is indeed at number 10 for this match. And sausage is the cheap version of haggis. And not as tasty as haggis. It's worth a try with mashed potatoes, sweet, and gravy. This is clear. And also the George emojis from Katie. But that's a great kick from England to be able to fire back from Henry Slade. And now with the line out 5 meters out from the line, Marcus Smith was fired up with it. And Luke Cowan, did he get this one right? So you're saying, George, we want a few thousand to do that? Probably, like minimum, we're talking probably a few hundred, but probably more likely, I'd say a few thousand. So if you've got a few thousand for a I don't think it would have to, I probably wouldn't do it for more than like an hour. But like a George karaoke session, perhaps. Could be a fun one. But Jamie George actually out on the field now. That is replacing Luke Cowan-Dickey. And I are you going to do your Super Rugby games like you did when you had 1K or 2K subs? I think I'm going to be doing the games when we do have New Zealand sides versus Australian sides, just because for these first few rounds with the cricket and also Six Nations on it has been pretty hectic. But hopefully we can start it up for the kind of New Zealand versus Australia sides, or maybe the second round of New Zealand derbies. And sausage is less haggis. I'm intrigued, says Katie there. We have got a few that we've filmed recently, but we just haven't quite had the chance of being able to finish the editing side of it, which is one of the big problems. But hopefully we can get a few more done maybe this weekend. For Moana Pacifica taking on the Crusaders and also the Blues. They will be taking on the Chiefs. What should be an exciting contest. But now Jamie George, we know what that man can do with the rolling ball. I started mine. His crazy boy there. And this one now going to be thrown in by Jamie George. Straight to Mauro Toge. Now the set play. It's gone down there. I believe it was dragged down by Wyn Jones. It's a good opportunity. It's a penalty to Wales, though. Brilliantly done once again by the Welsh to be able to keep themselves in this game. Only a couple meters out from their own line. 4 minutes in this first half. A tryless first half so far here at Twickenham. And the crowd, even though they haven't seen any tries, they are still in great spirits. Would it be entertaining or a laugh a minute if George did do it? Hamish says he would certainly make it a show. It'd be weird to see how it's going to go. And also, everything I'd like to apologize in advance to Norm Maxwell for all the weird questions I'm going to ask him on his birthday, says Katie. Although the sad thing is we've learned that he can't actually join my live streaming software from Spain, which is weird because we did actually test it a little while back. So we're probably going to have to, sadly, as much as I want to do it as a live stream, I think it's going to have to be a video just because, or else then I don't think we are going to be able to get his face in there. And also if there's internet issues, it might be unfortunate. So I think we're going to have to get the questions pre-ordered / pre-asked, and then I will be able to ask them in that video, which is a shame because I was looking forward to being able to do it as the live stream. But yeah, the Wi-Fi between us and Spain is sad, or is unfortunate, I guess you could say. Okay, I got you. I feel bad now, but it is good that Norm Mix, so he is still going to be popping in a bit of a chat. But now, good work in the breakdown, Thomas Williams. This ball at the back of the rolling maul, in fact, the back of the ruck, I should say. Puts the kick up high. Going up, Jack Noel taking it nicely. He's been pretty good throughout this first stage, Jack Noel. And also, Katie has a crush in there, says Aidan. And also, when is the question submission deadline? Says Katie, I'll ask it as a community question for I guess it'll probably start as a community question for the members. And then from there, we'll open it up to kind of everyone else to be able to ask the questions as well. Or I might actually just start it off with everyone, but then the members' questions, depending on the time that we've got, will take priority and asking. You can just ask as many as you like, really. I'll pop them up on the screen and ask Norm Maxwell all kinds of crazy things that you guys are after. Currently now, Thomas Williams will be picking this ball up and kicking it high. 2 minutes left in the first half between England and Wales. Nicely taken by Freddie Stewart. And Norm's is probably my number 3 All Blacks crush in there, says Katie Dixon. Is Dan Carter up there as number 1? I think everyone loves Dan Carter, don't they? So it's probably Dan Carter, not Scott Barrett. I know you mentioned Scott Barrett a bit, but I don't know whether or not he's one of your All Blacks crushes. You've got Marcus Smith now trying to pierce through an attacking run line there, but Wales, Ryan Elias, unable to turn it over. Been cleaned down. It looks like he might have a bit of an injury. No, he's back up. He's just a bouncing bag, pretty much, Ryan Elias. And I say that in the nicest way possible. He just keeps on getting up. No, Dan Carter is not number 1. Is he number 2? Who's number 1? That's a big question. And now another advantage to England here. Only a minute left. Harry Randall going to the short side off to Slade Smith. Now stepping nicely on the inside. Flicks it off to Max Malins. Now moving close to the 22. And I would marry Carter if I could, and I'm straight, says Hayden. They are now going back to Freddie Stewart. Has the most running meters out of any player. Wyn Jones. And this is Morgan. Also, thanks for working hard to give us a live update, says Java Guru. No worries at all. 5th live stream of the day. We are sitting at 4 Hour Rugby, and we've also got the cricket and then more rugby later on tonight. we will be covering on the channel. Randall goes back to Smith. Now looking good, almost able to pierce his way through. They've still got the advantage here for England if they do require it. Randall now going off to Jack Noel, trying to step. Jamie George, or in fact, it was Alice Geens flying in from a long way back. Randall now going to the short side. Pierces nicely. Only 15 out now. And they continue to get closer and closer. Alice Geens, this is almost getting into forwards territory now. They will just continue to use those big forwards. Currently 10 seconds left of this half. Maro Toge gets himself a little bit closer. I think they'll go topside soon here. And they do just that. Marcus Smith now inside ball. Off to Alex Dombrand. Those two have linked up many times for the Harlequins in the past. And also, come on, Tana was a hunk. And then also Colomedes is the number one All Black. It's a penalty to England. And Katie, honestly, I could base a whole friendship on Dan Carter is not my AB's crush, says May 5. And also, he was a total stud for Colomedes. And also Wyn Jones in there for Morgan Dukes. And what am I even saying? Says Ada. That's a great question. They're taking on the 3 points here for England by the looks of it. And that will give them a 12-0 lead at halftime. No tries in this first half. And so my number 2 is Martin Nonu. And there says Katie Dixon, of course, San Diego Legion boy. Harry Randall, good seller to dummy. Does lure in Tompkins, but then tackled low by Thomas Williams. And also we have got there, sorry, didn't have the money. And then says Carly, that's all right. I was going to say hi to you anyway. So it is all good. And only number 1 says the May 5. And also high five for Katie Dixon. Now Marcus Smith. Lining up this one, kiddo, says Amy Spencer, welcome into the live stream, mate. Early morning start for yourself. Have you got work today? No, it's wet, isn't it? It's raining very heavily. I hope you're doing well anyway, even though you won't be able to do too much work. I'm thinking what a performance from England. Says Bob Jobs here at the moment. Trialless first half for both of these sides. There's been some very close encounters between them, but Wales' goal line defence has been very phenomenal throughout the early stages of this one and probably has stopped them from getting about 3 tries. And who's your favourite rugby team? Gone straight over from Marcus Smith, and now the score at halftime, it is going to be 12-0 in favour of England. And also, who's your favourite rugby team? I would say favourite kit is the Hurricanes, I think just because of the yellow, or the Blues because of the blue. Out of those two, I would say I like the Wasp kit as well. And England, favourite team, though, it's always hard to say. And no, just watching the rugby, says Amy Spencer. So it is good that you haven't got yourself a nice early morning shift. And also Dan Carter is not my AB's crush. I'm going to put it on a shirt. And do you support Wales, says Carly. I do enjoy watching Wales play. I don't really have, I guess, a favourite Northern International team. It's a random big hole in the ground. Where did that come from? La Brea. Don't know what that is, but it's on tonight, apparently. And well, this game is a soggy bagel sandwich in the rain. Imagine Tattoos Dan Carter is this action there. There's a May 5, and I know my favourite team. Says Cruisy Boy. I believe yours is actually Hurricanes as well, isn't it? And also says, I'm on my way to get you. We're going to the tattoo shop. Says Katie, but currently there's not a huge amount to mention in that first half in terms of stats because both sides unable to score themselves a try. I can tell you the running meters and whatnot, it just won't be as impressive as saying who has been able to get themselves tries in this game as England, even though they've got 12 points, that is no tries that they've got. And maybe in there, says Cruisy Boy. Well, that one, but 62% in favour of England for the possession. Wales having 51% of the territory. 239 metres carried by England and 173 metres carried by, it was Wales. Defenders beaten 9-7 in favour of England. And please, and there's the May 5. And also clean breaks, 2 for Wales and 1 for England. I'm just watching people skiing at the moment. The skiing half pipe. Nico, what's his last name? It's not Pretorius, is it? It's something along those lines. I'm just watching this man spinning all over the place and just landing tricks in England up. And then I might be the Magpies. Says Cruisy Boy. Of course, doing very nicely for themselves in the Bunnings NBC and the penalties for the English in terms of being able to convert them. That is tackling so far, 81 tackles made out of 91 for Wales, and then 86% tackles made by England, 43 out of 50. And before this match, they actually had the lowest tackling completion out of any side in the Six Nations. That is England, and Wales were second lowest, I believe. But England, out of their lowest stats, they have actually managed to give away the least amount of tries in the Six Nations. Can you give me a shout out? Shout out to you, Carly. I assume you're going for Wales in this game, more than likely. But currently, it's looking pretty good here. That's the thing. Wales, for not being able to score a try, for having a yellow card, they're still in it. They've actually missed a goal, or they've missed a kick. When did they miss a kick? I don't remember seeing Dan Bigger go for one. That's like Garley in there says Gary Dixon with the heart. That one. My ear is getting quite sore after wearing headphones for like 10 hours. Which probably makes sense. Currently, line-out success. Both sides actually losing one of their line-out scrum success. England actually only winning one of their 3. So that will be somewhere that Wales will be concentrating on in that second half, I would think. And can you give me a shout-out? Shout-out to you, Hamish. You got a good first name. I'll give you that. Same as mine. Same as Hamish Watson's as well. And he's injured at the moment. But luckily, we are not injured. Although if I tried to run anywhere, I would be injured. And they go Porteous or Porteous. That is how you pronounce it. I believe he did end up getting himself the gold medal, didn't he? And Vegemite Dad. And there says it was from Katie Dixon. Currently, we will just be waiting for the second half. Get underway in the Six Nations fixture. Now, both of these sides, things that they want to improve, probably discipline a little bit for both sides, giving away quite a few penalties in the breakdown. But it's actually been more penalties for not releasing rather than penalties for not rolling away or taking out the wrong man, etc. All right, but the ruck success, Wales actually only having 88% at their ruck success. Not too sure who that is who is skiing at the moment. Who won, France or Scotland? It was France in the end who were able to get themselves the win, and they did end up winning it 36 points to 17, so they are sitting top of the table. They got the bonus point for their tries also, and continuing to build pretty nicely for themselves in the Six Nation. Going for the Grand Slam, and which team is Elsinge going back to the next season? Is he going home to Bristol? He is. Bristol Bears. I'm going to crouch down like this. This is going to be comfy for myself. How low can I go without being off the screen? That's probably the big question. But this is nice. At the moment, we have got there, or is it a new team? No, it's going to be the Bristol Bears that he is going to, and be back in 5, says Carly. That is fair enough. We are probably still waiting another 5 minutes or so. Anyone but England must win, and France 36 and Wales 17 for that one. But yeah, pretty much that record continues of Wales not being able to have a lead at halftime up against the New Zealanders. That was a very ugly fall for Nico in the skiing. I didn't actually watch any others in Stormers lost to Connacht 19 to 17. He did indeed, or they did indeed, should say. And the Sharks able to get themselves the win, which is very nicely done up against Benetton. I think he hurt himself a little bit, but we are waiting to see whether or not we see any more injuries in this round of the Six Nations. The Sharks beat Benetton 29 to 7. And that one, I have good memories of watching Six Nations in England when I was 14 or 15 on gloomy, grey, rainy days. It was one of the few bright spots about living in England for 3 years, 77 to 80. And there says Gavin, yeah, the Six Nations, it's one of those ones. It's such a prestigious tournament, and it's gone for so long that even taking a look at, because they were saying that Italy might end up losing their spot in the Six Nations, but I feel like without Italy, it's not really the Six Nations, if that makes sense. I have good memories. I know I read that one in Hamish that Gia cannot be comfortable after 13 hours of streaming, says Katie. It's not really. It's it's all right at times. Then I think that's why I end up sitting like this. I'm going to sit back. Sit back up at this stage. Yeah, no, it's not. It's a wooden back one as well. So there's no back support for my spine. It's just pretty much. Oh, I should get an office chair. Although I feel like the thing is, I think the thing that keeps me awake so much in these live streams is having a very uncomfy chair. Is there a cushion or a wad of bubble wrap or something you can sit on, says Katie Dixon? Probably somewhere. Not around here, though, unfortunately, I don't believe. And also, I've got that's a school punishment chair, says Katie, and I'm South African, and I love watching the Six Nations, and I want Scotland to win anyone but England. So, yeah, at this stage, England, I believe for them to be able to win the Six Nations, they will need 4 tries in the second half to get themselves a bonus point, because France at the moment are on a tear, and that's a good point. So here's Katie, but George has got a comfy chair, and he got one about a year ago, and he can just he can lean back and all sorts. That's the thing, I've got a gaming chair that's just sitting in my room, but they're not actually as comfy as they look, those gaming chair. But I could do it, anyone but England 2022, and you need to play Minecraft World. It's a pretty cool world as well, says Crazy Boy there. I might have to give it a go at some stage. Xbox is something that I haven't had a chance to play too often recently. Even PC gaming, haven't really had too much of a chance. The Chalky Milk Chair, says Katie Dixon, and also South Africa really need home games over this period, so we could have benefited from the weather, says Gareth. And also, big office chairs are elite, says Rio Gamer. See, I feel like I should save up for one. I know that the next purchase is going to be a webcam that does go a little bit smoother than this one, just because this one sometimes can go in and out. That's the thing. It's probably not too bad of a webcam overall, though. So I don't know whether it's the chair first or whether it's the camera first that I do go for. It's a good question. Maybe a new microphone, because this one doesn't work anymore, I don't think. Should I test if this microphone actually does work? What if I click here? Okay, that one doesn't work still. That's broken. Doesn't seem to work. I don't know whether it's the cable that's messing up or whether it's just not working because of a little breakage or something like that, or maybe it just doesn't like me. Could be that one. Probably the last one. Currently now just waiting for the second half of the Six Nations fixture between England and Wales to get underway. Normally we do have the try scorers going across the bottom of the screen. As you can see here, it's blank, unfortunately, other than the TKO in the corner, which of course stands for the Kiwi lads. But no tries yet in this game. It's still been an entertaining first half, though, between the two sides, and hopefully we do end up seeing a couple tries in the second half just to tick us over. I'm currently sitting almost 7 a.m. there, and the best is when there's an office chair in your hotel room and you end up power slamming it into the bed like a race car to see how far you fling yourself across the room. Yeah. Here's Katie. I feel like the next time I go to a hotel room, maybe I'll check it out. And also how, and there says Carly, and do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who's going to score the first try of the second half, the exact player. We haven't seen any as of yet. Are we going to get to see a try in this match? And where are they playing? Cardiff or Twickenham? They are playing in Twickenham for this match. And I'll be back soon, says Crazy Boy. But yeah, at home, Twickenham, England have actually only lost 2 of their last 24 matches. One last year against Scotland, and then the one prior to that was in about 2018 up against the Irish. And also, sorry for that, says Carly. No worries at all. Also, we have got there Twickenham from Katie. Right. Currently, we must be getting close to the second half. They're just interviewing a skier's parents at this point in time. So hopefully it is going to be back to the rugby in a very short moment. Then we've got 40 minutes worth of commentary. And then we've got about 3 hours off that I will be spending more than likely getting prepared for next weekend, doing the schedule for that, sorting everything out, probably watching some more rugby. To be fair, probably watch the URC games that did take place. And then after that, we will have the test match day of cricket, and then we will be going to bed for a few hours, getting back up to an Ireland versus Italy that is going to be taking place tomorrow night at 4 a.m. New Zealand time. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to check it out, because we are going to be here for another day of rugby and cricket commentary. These are the benches for France versus Scotland, but we don't worry about them. We go to England versus Wales. That's who we're after. Elliot Daly is not 23, though, by the way. It is instead Joe Marchant, George Ford, Ben Young, Sam Simmons, Nick Ezekwe, Will Stewart, Joe Marler, and Jamie George actually already out on the field at this stage. Dewey Lake, he was out there. Gareth Thomas, or he isn't out there, sorry, yet Dewey Lake, but it was Leon Brown to get to make his way out there a little bit earlier on due to an HIA, but now he's back off the field. Anscombe, Jonathan Davies, Kieran Hardy, then also Morgan and Seb Davis going to be there as the number 19 option. Anyone wondering who these teams have to face next? Wales will have France at the Principality, and then Italy as their final game. That is in a couple weeks' time, though, that one will be taking place. Then for England, they have got Ireland, and then they've got France. So probably the hardest finish to the Six Nations, I would say, England have got for themselves coming up in the near future. And the first game up against the Irish is certainly not going to be an easy task. I have to go by. And there says Carly, no worries. We will see you later on. But thank you very much for tuning in. It's hugely appreciated. And we are going to be back next week with more Six Nations, more Super Rugby, more cricket, more everything that's going to be coming on the channel. Maybe even some more UFC if we end up doing it for this weekend's one. In fact, it might not be this weekend. It might be next weekend. I think it was the 6th of March, wasn't it, that one is going to be taking place. What day is the 6th of March? I feel like that's a midweek day. 6th of March. It's a Sunday. It's not a midweek day. I'm confused. And also I have to go by, says Carly, but no worries at all currently. Are they about to come back? I think they're about to come back, and I'm going to the Wales versus Italy. So hopefully that will be a very awesome game at the Principality Stadium, and they are allowed a huge crowd for that matchup. England, I'm going to say if an English player scores, I'm going to go Jack Noel. I know that someone before the match gave me a tip that said that he is going to be able to score himself a try in this match. I'm going to back them for that prediction. Then if it is going to be a Welsh player, I will go, it's going to be, I'm actually going to go Alex Cuthbert in that regard because he has been looking strong on that side. I'd say he's got a pretty good chance, but now Wales and England both making their way back out. Who played just before this match? It was Scotland and France did play off, and that game was taking place in Scotland and Murrayfield, and the end score was 36-17 in favour of France. Hopefully you didn't want to know the result. If you didn't, I am very sorry about just spoiling it there. So hopefully you did not mind knowing the result. I always feel bad if I say a result and then someone's like, oh, I was going to watch that game, and then I just feel bad. They have spoiled it, but currently now, Courtney Lawes, the captain of England, leading his side out. He's got a huge amount of tattoos on that right arm. I think the left arm's starting to catch up as well at this point in time. But Jack Noel actually skipping ahead of that man at number 6, Courtney Lawes. He's got the very long arms. Hasn't been able to use them too often, though. No, the yawn, but that will be happening a few times throughout this. I'm just going to have a quick look. It's almost bright outside, which is nice to see. We do love a little bit of brightness. And currently now, sitting 40 minutes through this game, 40 to go. Can we get a try in the second half? That is what everyone is hoping for here, but currently now about to get back underway. Sam Simmons actually out on the field at this current time. I believe that will be for Alex Dombrandt, more than likely, unless it's for Tom Curry, perhaps. Okay, I'm just looking around. I think I still see Alex Dombrandt, so I would say that might actually be Tom Curry off, either due to injury or tactics. And also we have got there from Gareth but French flags. And then also is that the baguettes and wine. Well, it looks like, but now it will be Dan Bigger kicking off the second half here. Does put it high at Twickenham. Can we see a try in the early stages? Jack Noel taking that one, kicks it way downfield. A good clearing kick, but taken nicely by Liam Williams now inside of the half of it. The Welsh puts it up high. Looks like it's going to be chased hard by Talfafanua. Doesn't quite get it. That's not his name. That is actually the French lock. Was instead Talupe Falata who went up for that. Wasn't quite able to get it. Now Kyle Sinclair. Tom Curry did actually get replaced, so he was the one who went off for Sam Simmons. Going back quickly. Good hands. Max Malin's now in a little bit of space, stepping on the inside. Able to link up with Elliot Daly now. Let's go down if they can fire this one out the back line quickly. Harry Randall gives it off to Alice Genji. Does spin out of the challenge. It's looking strong for England at the start of this one. The knee is down, so they do have to release him. Randall, once again. Okay, so he's actually taken a bang to the head, Tom Curry, so he will be out probably the next game as well, depending on when they can come back. Marcus Smith now off to Jamie George. Randall goes back to Mara Toge, and like they're saying, it seems like England have come out with an extra spring in their step here, and the way that they are playing, it's a flat ball to Alice Genji, now offloading it out the back. It's a loose ball. Jumping on it there for England. Still going to just be retaining this one, or are they Wales able to counter ruck, or do they? No. Still going to be play on, and Alice Genji just got that one tackled by Rowlands. Now he counter rucks. Still not available for them, though. And up to 9 phases here for England. They haven't really been giving up this ball ever since they got it back. They said, right, we're going to be hanging on to this one all the way to the try line. Bad Jack Noel now offloading it. Nicely to Freddie Stewart. Continues to just rack up a few more extra running meters. He is the leader in the competition as we currently sit. 4 meters made for his side. It's actually Marcus Smith also in the top few. They have got Now Smith goes back to Elliot Daly. This is looking better now, trying to pierce the gap. Great defence from Wales, though, just not letting them through. And by Scarley, we will see her later on. And I hope you do enjoy that game between Wales and Italy in a couple of weeks' time. Now Alice Gens trying to step out of that challenge. Does get wrestled down. Harry Randall going to the short side. Marcus Smith kicks it in behind. It bounces up and it bounces into touch there. And Liam Williams at the moment, he's clapping that performance from Wales. Marcus Smith, he's got a bit of a smile on his face. I don't think he minds that option of putting the ball into touch and making now Wales have to go for that attacking play, or maybe just kick it down the field a little bit further. They weren't really going forward for themselves there. Currently now, fed into the back, taken nicely. This is going to be big. Alex Dombrand reaches out, scores a try. Mistake from Wales, and it does lead to the first try of the match, and it will be Alex Dombrand does end up scoring it. We'll go like this. Okay, they want to check this one, so we'll award it, but we won't award it. Alex scores. Dom Brandt. That's a hard name to spell. We'll go like that. And like they said, the telescopic arm. I can't speak at the moment. I'm that excited that we've seen a try. There we go. Dom Brandt scoring the try very quickly. And we would go like this, and we go like that as well. And that was in the 43rd minute or so that England were able to pick over. Oh. Okay, they're actually checking this one, and also Malacha and Alex Dombrand with the try. And does Wayne Pivac survive this campaign, says Gareth. It's going to be tricky for them to decide whether or not he is the man for the job going forward. Because I guess, Wales just aren't quite getting it going the way that they'd like to, I think. Okay, it's all clear, and that is going to be the try for Alex Dombrand. Nicely done by the big tall number 8, and now Marcus Smith has got a chance to line this one up. But England, every try that they score here, I feel like Eddie Jones would have told them at halftime, boys, we need 4 tries here, minimum, if we do want to get ourselves towards being able to get ourselves that Six Nations trophy, pretty much. I said that in a weird way, though, because I said about 3 times in a row the same sentence. Now, Alex Dombrand definitely deserves to be inducted into the Baby Rhino Club. CSK, physical player. And Sam Simmons now out there at 7 as well. Just misses that one out to the right-hand side there for Marcus Smith. I'm going to quickly grab myself a beverage. Here it is. The thing is, this water is still quite cold, and I believe it is because it's only like 9 degrees here. At the moment, it's actually making the water probably colder than it would have been earlier on in the night, which we will take. It's 9 degrees and cloudy at the moment here in New Zealand. I know that the test match conditions, it is going to be a very, popping out onto the side of Wales now, and Thomas Williams going straight through. He's trying to counter straight back. Maybe we're going to get to see the tries that would have been scored in the first half scored in the second. Dan Bigger fires it back out the back line now. Ross Moriarty with the fend out on the outside. Liam Williams, I think he knocked that one on, did he? Back off White, they have called. And now they are going to have this ball once again here for England. Only 35 minutes left in this game. Harry Randall going to be kicking this one high. And Ben Youngs, he will be waiting anxiously to get himself out onto the field. If he does make his way out there, that will be 115 test caps for Ben Youngs, which is the most out of any England international rugby player in history. So a huge accomplishment for him if he does make his way out there, which he certainly will. Surely you give him a couple minutes at the end, even if it does mean that it's literally going to be in like the 80, or not the 80th minute, of course, probably like the 20 minutes to go. I think they will actually probably replace Randall with about 20 left. But even if it was like 2, I think it's still a good opportunity for him. Now, Thomas Williams fires it back once again here on the halfway line for Wales, looking to find their first try of the match. Also, Nick Tompkins got a attacking run. Currently, the England defence, like I mentioned, their tackling success rate is actually the lowest out of any side in the competition. That ball almost hit Mike Adamson. He is going to be saying play on. Courtney Laws on that ball, but they're going back for the original. Okay. It's a scrum feed for Wales because it did hit the referee. He was playing a little bit of advantage for it, but now it is going to be going back and going in favour of Wales for the scrum feed. There's a few complaints coming from Ross Moriarty. He's been penalised many times throughout this match so far. Currently, Twickenham crowd, they are singing along currently. Okay, it is the England chant. I was trying to work out whether it was for England or whether it was for Wales, but it is, of course, for the home side here at Twickenham. Can they continue to build this momentum and get themselves 3 more tries? That will be what they are looking for. Nothing less than those 3 tries. Ball doesn't go in. It's a penalty to Wales. Number 1 knee on the ground is the call there from the referee. And I believe Wyn Jones was taken off the field just before. I should mention about that substitution. And it was actually Gareth Thomas. Does make his way out there. But Alice Genge's knee went down. Now Dan Biggar kicks it for touch. It's a good clearance downfield. And it does go into touch about 20 metres out now for Wales. It's the first try for them just around the corner. The last line out certainly didn't go the way that they planned. Alex Dombrant was able to make the absolute most out of it. Score himself that try. But now Ryan Elias. Where do they end up going? I think they'll go to the front. They went to the middle. That's why I don't try and guess things. Thomas Williams knocks the ball on. Referee said it's gone backwards, though. And now because of it, Talupe Falatau spinning out. And currently now sitting 10 metres straight out in front. Dan Biggar sells the dummy pop pass out to Nick Tompkins. This is going to be a good play from Wales now. Big Tame Basham continues. Just play crash ball with the opposition. Elias, in fact, it was going back to Thomas for his first touch. Moriarty and Smith hurting my fantasy points. There's Gareth there. Nice offload to Josh Adams. Getting closer now to the line. Got a good opportunity. Ryan Elias now. Quick ball back to Biggar. Off to Gareth Thomas. Straightens. Is tackled by Marcus Mamaratoje with the clean turn over there. It might be taken straight back by Wales, or is it who wins the penalty now? They've been told to release it in England. Do they get the penalty? I don't know what's going on at the moment. Everyone's just fallen on the ground. The ball is available for England. And this breakdown on what was probably the slowest breakdown of the day, where it's seen so far, and why would there be a Wales chant at Twickenham as well, says Irish. I mean, away teams do like to support their sides as well. You don't just limit it to like, if you're from New Zealand and you're in Australia, you're not allowed to chant for the All Blacks. I feel like that's not really how the rules work. And also my lad son, Alex Dombrant, from Katie a little bit earlier on, and off Falatau. Good Welsh surname that, says Gareth. And also Maro Toze, boot to the face. Oof, says Katie. But currently Wayne Pavaki's looking a bit, I guess, disheartened in the coaching box would be the best way of describing it. Can they get themselves a try? Josh Adams running straight at Marcus Smith. Once again made another tackle. A quick recycle ball from Thomas Williams. Out short. Now going off, big hit on Dan Biggar, got his ribcage rattled by Maro Itoje. Gets straight back up though. Just fair play. Maro Itoje actually staying down longer after that hit on Biggar. Dombrant leaving his feet. He's got the penalty though. He is on his feet, so he must have been on his feet, then dropped, and by then he had already won the penalty. And would a 100 Wales fan really stand out? I think they've got a few thousand at least, probably about 20,000 Welsh fans in attendance for this game. It's just pretty awesome to see that they have got so many travellers kind of supporting their sides away from home. And I mean, Twickenham, that's the thing though. Even though there's 20,000 or so Welsh supporters, they've still got another 60,000 English supporters in there for this matchup. But Henry Slade currently, hey, it's those fellows. Who are they? It's the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton. Then it's that fellow who's Prince William, and then their boy who's Charlie. Probably not Charlie. It's George. It's actually George. There you go. I know the royal family. It wasn't difficult at all. That's going to be the penalty to Wales now. High tackle there from Alice Genji. Does apologise for it, I Lord. There's the royal family. Says Katie Dixon, and there's going to be a lot more Welsh supporters than that. Says Gareth, but currently now Dan Biggar able to kick this one towards the touchline again. Does end up finding it. Currently now 40 metres out. So they'll be very happy with the way this match is going, I would think. And yeah, their kid like grew up holy. And he was only born like 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks, but it feels like only like 2 years ago that he was born. But now he's like probably 6 or something, maybe older. I don't know. How old is a child that was born? Probably as old as the days since he was born, probably the best way of describing that. But now Josh Adams on the outside, kicked him behind. Cuthbert chasing hard. He's after it. A lot of pressure there and has to just put that one out. And it's going to be in touch 5 meters out from the line now. And Ryan Elias could be in a good position. Try and get this rolling more. And I lost track of how many kids they have. Says Katie Dixon. Do they have more than the one son? Oh, they've got Charlotte, don't they? The little girl. I think that's her child. Or I think that's their kid as well. Maybe. Not too sure. Currently now, England, they will be under pressure. Wales have got a good chance of trying to build their way. Oh, yeah, I think they have like 3 or 4. Who are the others? Oh, Mara Doge almost able to steal it, but Ryan Elias grabbing it nicely. I remember a game in Wales where Swing Low was getting belted out. There says Gareth. And yeah, I feel like it's always the away fans as well as the home side that like really bring that atmosphere, which is why Twickenham is an absolutely incredible stadium to play rugby at. Looking forward to seeing the All Blacks there in the later stages of the year. Will Rowlands now, another good aggressive carry. Kyle Sinclair dragged down. Thomas Williams having to fire it out quickly. Still continuing to build up phases. Owen Watkin now quick ball. Now wide. Josh Adams scores the try. And that is going to be the first try of the match for Wales now. And Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis in there. Right, so I guess Louis is the youngest. When was Louis born? How old's Louis? I don't even know the royal family too well. I was impressed that I actually managed to still name them as the 3, although I did call him Charlie, didn't I? That's going to be the try for Josh Adams. It was a wide cutout pass. It did find his hands to perfection, and Wales getting their first points of the day, not just the try. And now they will only be 10 points behind if they get this conversion and force smash the Rebels, says Max. They did indeed. Pretty one-sided game in the end, and a game that was actually a 50-50 going into it in terms of the betting odds. And he's 3 years old. Is he 3? People grow up so fast, don't they? Like kids. It's a weird way to describe it. But yeah, kids grow up very quickly. All right, he's 3 years old. Here's Katie Dixon. But England currently still have a little bit more of a lead. And now putting this ball over possibly Dan Bigger. Has he got it? No, he doesn't. He has missed it away to the left-hand side, just dragging it a little bit. And can't believe the Canes last night, says Max. It was an absolutely outstanding game. And then, like, that was probably game of Super Rugby so far, and probably will be for the first 10 rounds or so. Like, there's just a back and forth that was taking place throughout that one. Josh Adams ended up scoring the first try of the match there. Oh, Wales, and a bit of excitement on the faces. And be joyous peasants for my penis. Says Gareth, that's very, I guess you could say, not posh. What's it? Very royal. No, not royal. What's it called when you're like using very proper English, I guess you could say. Dane Basham now off the field. And Jack Morgan making his way out there. Freddie Stewart offloading it off to Alex Dombrand, who bumps through the tackle. Dan Bigger actually grabs him around the neck. He's not too happy about that one, Dan Bigger. Getting bumped off by the big man, Dombrand. Marcus Smith off to Alice Genge. Now continuing. Try and rolling more their way forward here. Trying to turn it over there. Not quite able to, though. Alex Dombrand now once again tackled. In fact, it's Max Malin's right next to the breakdown now. Alice Genge or Sinclair getting driven backwards. And that tackle, currently still 25 minutes left, and can't wait to watch it. Says Katie Dixon there, and yeah, it is a very awesome game. Marcus Smith now looking out to Max Malin's wing. Elliot Daly drawing pass here. Nicely done. Henry Slade takes contact rather than passing it. Could see that they were drifting a little bit too far to the side, so Bags would have just been forcing a touch. Alice Genge with a good carry forward. Trying to get straight on the ball. It was Morgan, who's actually only been out there for about 20 seconds at this point in time. Courtney Laws now once again give himself another captain's carry. Marcus Smith going to the inside out to Alex Dombrand. And it won't be too far off Joe Marler possibly getting to make his way out onto the field. Then we'll have all the Quins players out there. Currently we can hear Swing Low. Queen's English, that is the name of it. All right, Doge almost as he turned it over. I think Wales have taken it back though now. Dan Bigger Puts it back, and this is going to be a counter-attack. Thomas Williams on the outside. Got Liam Williams and Adams there if he needs him. Passes it back to him. Now looking for the inside ball, kicking in behind. It actually hits the hand of Freddie Stewart. Keeps it in the field of play, but Wales has still got this one inside of the 22, almost of England. Loose ball. Dan Biggar taking it nicely, or does he? Was it a knock on? It might have been the knock on there. Oh, I think it's a penalty here, possibly. Offside against England. I live in Wales, but I think my friends still live in England are laughing so hard at me now. I'm dying in laughter right now, says Caitlin Williams. Yeah, it's a tricky one when your side are, I guess, losing at this point in time. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you can say last year England were able to win the Six Nations. That's something Wales were able to win the Six Nations, and I don't think it was no knock on, says Katie. So I think they've gone back for the original offside now. Amala's itching for a Welsh fiddle, says Gareth. It's one way of putting it, I guess you could say, but he will be very keen to make his way out there. Ryan Elias now will be looking to throw this ball in relatively straight. England have been shutting down that rolling maul pretty well, and it's an interesting stat. We haven't had a rolling maul try scored in the Six Nations so far. Like a genuine rolling maul try. It's an advantage now to the Welsh. Currently only sitting 10 metres out. I'm back across now. Dan Biggar takes contact, doesn't look to offload, and now just straight in there. Two English players. They've been able to get that one, and they will be going back for the original penalty. It looks like Thomas Williams thought about taking the quick tap. They will be kicking for touch once again. But yeah, no genuine rolling maul try scored in the Six Nations, which is actually a really surprising stat because of how often we do see sides going to their rolling maul. But I think it's just the defending as well. It has been pretty well done throughout this competition. I don't believe, no, France didn't get themselves one, did they? And neither did Scotland. So it's still waiting for a perfect rolling maul try to come in the Six Nations. And we're already up to round 3 of the competition. Now Ryan Elias. Okay, they had to get that one into touch again. I think they missed that last one. Now Ryan Elias with another line-out throw here. And Wales, they do claim that one. It was Ross Moriarty who went up for it. This is actually well set. This could be the first rolling maul try. No, it's gone down again from England, but it's not going to be the advantage. It is available to play. Oh, he was about to blow the whistle, but the ball is now available at the back. Thomas Williams got this one, and big piss boy. Nah, Nick White or Dan Biggar out of there. Says Gareth. I know that both of them love a chat to the referee. So I guess it's who talks more. Halfbacks are hard to beat in terms of the amount of words that they say. You would think I was a halfback, and you'd be right. If I played now, I would probably try and be a halfback, but back I was on the wing in my day. And just because the Boks are not in Six Nations or just as well, the Boks aren't in the Six Nations there, or they would be a 4 or 5 rolling maul tries, says Gavin. Yeah, they do love a rolling maul. Malcolm Marks, super sub at this stage coming onto the field would be dangerous. Although now Leon Brown getting closer, only a metre short now here for Wales. Can they get themselves a try? Oh, we've got a goal line camera. First time I've seen this angle before. Ryan Elias looking like he's going to be grabbing this one. He's going to be backing himself around the side there, trying to stop him from creeping forward. Thomas Williams now firing it out the back line. Nick Tompkins reaches out, scores a try. The late Welsh comeback could be on now. And that is their second try of the game. And Nick Tompkins has just been able to put that one down. We're going to have to add another name. That is actually the second try for Wales. More tries now scored for Wales than there were scored for England. And they are trying to work their way towards that bonus point perhaps. But it's a great try. Just good build-up. Penalties against them originally, which did get them in trouble there, England. And then Wales able to make the absolute most of it. That's the one try in there. Says Katie Dixon. It was Dan Biggar. Short ball. He looked like he was going to be flinging it wide, which really wrong-footed Max Malins. Marcus Smith leading with the foot. You can't do that. You got to be careful there, Marcus. Could get yourself in a bit of trouble. And now Dan Biggar lining this one up. Would like this one to go over because then he will make it within the 7 points. Does get it that time. And now the score, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be 12 points to Wales and 17 to England. England of their last 24 have only lost 2 matches at Twickenham. This be the third. Twiggy bum time for England, says Gareth. And it looks like now it's time to bring out Ben Youngs. I'm going to give him a clap. Most capped English international ever with 115 caps. And he is getting a big hug from Harry Randall. That is the future and I guess the current, I guess you could say, with Ben Youngs. I was going to say the past, but that's a bit strict for him, I would say. And you go, Wales, 7 behind. I think we're going to catch up. Let's go, Wales. Keep it up. And there says Galen, and I'll say, yeah, into there. So you'll be very happy with that one. But not you every day because, of course, didn't want England to win this game. And now it is getting just that little bit closer. Marcus Smith kicks it off now. Tompkins scores a try in the 61st minute, and we've still got another 18 minutes to go here. And also, Wales, go Wales. Says not your everyday cultist. Going to be available for them. Thomas Williams rolling this ball back now. Looks like he is going to be putting up the box kick, and that is exactly what he has done down to the halfway line. Taken nicely now by Freddie Stewart. A couple of the young players for England definitely going to have to step up in the later stages of this game, but alongside the likes of a Ben Youngs and Elliot Daly, two guys who are extremely experienced. Cole Sinclair getting driven backwards. The Welsh bringing the physicality at the moment. Marcus Smith puts the kick up, and Max Malin's trying to line it up. Under that one, not able to take it, bounces straight back into the hands of Alex Dombrand, who just shunts off Josh Adams, and that man is so tough to drag down because he'll just bulldoze through. A flick out the back from Ezekwe, a little bit of skill there. Marcus Smith kicks it in behind, sits up for Liam Williams, though, still inside of his 22, and he is able to kick it downfield. Does end up finding the grass. It's an awkward bouncing one, sits up now for, I believe that would have been Ben Youngs, going back across. Brilliant textbook tackle there from Leon Brown, but England have still got this ball just inside of their own half, and it will be Ben Youngs looking to put this ball back to Maro Itoje. It looked like that we were going to be sitting maybe with an opportunity of a kick there and bring Foxy on. This is Gareth. Okay, so Foxy, I've forgotten it again, but it's Jonathan Davis, isn't it? Is he Foxy? Or is Ford Foxy? Or is Marla Foxy? Who's Foxy? I think you said it earlier on, but I've completely forgotten again, unfortunately. Well, that one, but now Wales trying to turn that ball over, not able to. Ben Youngs fires it back to Genge. Once again, gets a shot in the midsection from Jack Morgan for his troubles. Youngs goes back. Could sell the dummy there. And also Davis in there, says Gareth. And he is going to be lurking. Very soon, I would think they would end up bringing him on because they've still got a couple more subs, Wales. For themselves to make. Courtney Lord's dragged down nicely. Straight on the ball for Leon Brown. Does he have the hands on it? No, not quite. Does end up going down. Young going to the right-hand side, out to Alice Genge and Sinclair, the two props for England linking up here. Youngs, once again, back to Marcus Smith, puts in the little chip and chase, trying to find a bit of open space, and it does bounce up nicely for Marcus. No, it's going to be taken by, I believe that would have been, who was that? I think that was the number 5 who was able to get on it, unless it was maybe number 15 and Liam Williams. It's probably the more likely one. No, in fact, it was Thomas Williams. Was there, and you go Wales, and there, and Twitterwoo. They're from Caitlin. And currently Wales are playing like a so do want to win this game. They are not backing down from the challenge of England here. Yes, Sweet Low getting swung or getting sung all around the ground, I should say. For the English supporters, Thomas Williams puts up the box kick. It does end up going down towards halfway now, taken nicely by Henry Slade, linking up with Freddie Stewart playing crash ball. Does end up going down in a heap. Youngs back to Sinclair. Good link-up play once again from the replacement front row. In fact, those are actually the two guys who started, aren't they? But then it wasn't the hands of Jamie George. I have a weird situation. Born in London, raised in South Africa, except for 3 years in England, now in the USA. I'm fully a South Africa fan in cricket and rugby, but England and football, too much information, but I felt like saying it. It's interesting, though. Like, that's the thing. I love hearing the teams that you guys support, where you guys are from, where you like kind of were raised as well, because I feel like it just kind of paints that picture for me to kind of learn a little bit more about the individual rather than just having it as a name. So born in London, raised in South Africa. 3 years in England. Nice. I feel like that's the thing. I'm quite boring in that regard. I'm from New Zealand, born in New Zealand, raised in New Zealand. New Zealand. That's about all I could say. I've been to Australia on holiday. That counts for something. Currently now Young's recycling the ball nicely on the 22, trying to pierce through. 9 phases in now for the English. Still trying to get the turnover here for Wales. Simmons goes back. It's knocked on by Kyle Sinclair. Bounces back up now. Will Rowlands has got it. So I'm fully proficient in 7 sports as well, says Gareth there. Now, Josh Jannams with a few steps, firing it back to Thomas Williams, and they have still got this one. Do they kick it? Or I think they've still got the advantage, so you might as well just run it. It's out to Cuthbert now. Will continue to drive his way forward, currently 40 metres out from the line. Jack Nolan wins the penalty for England, and the crowd know how important that one is because that could give them an 8-point lead here over the Welsh. If Marcus Smith has the distance, that is from about 43 metres out, maybe 45 on the angle here. Alex Cuthbert, unfortunately, penalised. He's had a very good game, though, for them. But Jack Noel, he has also been sharp, straight on the ball. He ends up winning the penalty for his side. And also, we got any thoughts about your next overseas travel or not interested, says Joe. I would quite like to go to Australia. Again, I went for the Boxing Day test in Melbourne, 2019, New Zealand versus Australia, and the atmosphere of that game was just electric. So I'd love to go back to Australia, I think it would be 2 weeks, somewhere around there. I love Uber Eats as well. In Australia, you could literally order anything and it would show up at your door. Here where I'm from, we don't have that. You've got to go get it. But Uber Eats, on the phone, boom, boom, boom. It's at your front door in 15 minutes. And also, well, hey, man, how you do? And they're from Katie Dixon also. So cool, says Caitlin there. Nice. And they're from Caitlin as well. But now Marcus Smith, this is an important kick. 45 metres out now for him. Can he get this one over? It's on the angle as well. 67 minutes into this game to make it an 8-point buffer in favour of the English. And also Simplord in there, says Caitlin. Kicks it, strikes it nicely. Marcus Smith, as he struck it well enough. It's going to be close to it in the post, I believe. Sneaks Justin, and Marcus Smith gets it over the score now. 20 points to England and 12 to Wales. So they have been able to get that deficit up to 8 points now. Continue to try and increase it. Kyle Sinclair getting taken off the field. That will be for Will Stewart. Makes his way out there. Also, Charlie Yules off here. That is for Nick Ezekwe. He's just made his way out. I actually thought he was on there a little bit earlier on when I saw him make a pass, but it was actually the other man. And you're lucky in many ways. My life is so disrupted that if not for sports, I'd really be lost. You lose families and friends and stability. And nothing is settled as a young person. I envy people like you, says Gavin there. And I guess, yeah, that's the thing. We are very lucky in the location of the country because, it's dropped. There's one primary school. Or no, probably 3 primary schools, but there's one high school. So if you were at a primary school with one of your friends, you're at that same high school with your friend as well. Pretty much, I didn't actually know George, Isaac, and Daniel, the other Kiwi lads at primary school. I have probably heard of them through rugby and whatnot, but I hadn't actually really spoken to them. And then it was year 8, I started hanging out with Isaac. And then from there, he kind of introduced me to George and Daniel because they had all been friends from primary school. So I've probably done quite well to edge my way into that group, seeing as they were kind of friends from primary school. And then I just made my way in there for high school. But yeah, been friends ever since. It's pretty awesome indeed. They are the other Kiwi lads. You guys have probably seen them a couple times on the channel. No, I believe you, Wales. You can do it, says Caitlin there. Still got 11 minutes, though. All they need is a penalty and then a try. And they'll be able to cut down that deficit. And come on, Wales. And there says Ruben Williams going for the men. Or away from a moment. Come on, Wales. Or go on, Wales from Harry. It's a good push there from England, though. In fact, no, that's actually Wales' side, isn't it? Because they spun around. Wait, no, they spun around, so that is going to be England who win the penalty. I got confused because it spun. But yeah, England get the penalty there. Tuning into Mike Adamson, he ended up giving a penalty to a wrong side earlier on and then switched it and then decided that they weren't allowed to take the quick tap. But I love Wales. Says Harry Evans there. Going to be kicked in behind, and it is a good kick downfield. And also we have got there, I was in contact with 19 friends when I left South Africa at 20 years old. None of them remain, says Gavin there. So that's pretty rough. Have you tried reaching out to them way later, to see what they're up to? Or is it, I guess that's the thing. It's weird because social media nowadays is a whole new level of it used to be if you wanted to message someone from South Africa or something, you'd write them a letter. Put it in the mailbox. You wait 10 days. It arrived for them. You wait another 10 days. They'd send you one back. And there was no kind of instant, just boom, boom, boom. There you go. Whereas now you got boom, boom, boom. There you go. Type thing. Now, currently, it's going to be taken nicely by Wales. Almost a juggle by Will Rowlands. It's going back for the initial penalty, though. I believe that is for dragging down the arm, so it is going to be the penalty for... I think there's a penalty for England. And the one, yes, it is. And also, we love Wales. And they're from Harry, and also Wales from Ruben. But yeah, dragging down the arm there from Adam Beard, which is why that ball was dropped. And because of that, does mean that it is going to be 9 minutes left, and England once again maybe get themselves an opportunity to kick for the corner. Or they want the 3, I believe, here, just to give them a little bit more of a lead. And I love Wales, says Harry there. And also, we're in South Africa, says Gareth to Gavin. Gareth to Gavin sounds like it could be a TV show. Or Gareth and Gavin. Gareth and Gavin. That's hard to say 5 times fast. And come on, England. And they're from Scott. Currently now, Marcus Smith. This will be an important one. Have you had many strikes on your YouTube channel before? If any, says Jacob. We have had a total of 2. I believe first one was for a Super Rugby AU live stream that we were going to be doing, similar to this format, but it was for, we were going to do the commentary. They struck us down before the live stream even started because they said we were using the Super Rugby name without permission. So that got us a strike. We got that one removed relatively quickly, but then we also did the Cricket World Cup, and a Sri Lankan YouTube channel copyright struck us because they wanted to be the only ones doing Sri Lanka's game, and that one we weren't able to get removed straight away. So we had to wait 2 weeks to be able to live stream, which was a brutal one, definitely, because the World Cup, New Zealand made it through to the final, but we couldn't actually do it, sadly, just because we had lost pretty much all, I guess, chance of being able to do it, just in case they struck us again and go on. Wales, says Harry. And also Wales from Caitlin, and Joe Marler now making his way out onto the field. But that is a little bit more of a lead for England after getting that one over. And a Wales there, says Harry. And then my other one, I've had a couple of copyright claims, including one for my voice, where I did a commentary and someone said that my voice was theirs. That was a Canadian and USA YouTube channel, I think it was. I found some on Facebook from high school. They are all over the world. It was 1984, so only let us then not to bring the convo down. Though, so onwards and upwards. Thanks for listening, says Gavin there. But yeah, like social media and everything, like technology in itself has come such a long way. Freddie Stewart once again done very nicely under the high ball. That man wouldn't have been born in 1984. In fact, I think only probably Ben Youngs or someone. 1984, when was that? How old would that make Ben Youngs if he was born in 1984? About 30. No, he's probably not quite that old, but Liam Williams over there. He's been around for a long time, though, Ben Youngs. In fact, he's probably not that later than 1984. Ben Youngs. He was born 1989. Okay, so that would make him 32. So if you were born in 1984, you're probably about 37. We're looking at rugby player-wise. So maybe someone like, who we got who's still 37 and playing? Probably Sam Whitelock, and I was born in 1984. Says, okay, there you go. Now, on the outside, nicely past to Josh Adams. Currently 7 minutes left here. And England, they have got themselves a nice 11-point buffer, so they just need a few more to be able to get themselves a little bit closer to being able to score this one. But Wales, if they score one quick try and then get another, they actually get not just the win, but the bonus point win. And I know Wales are losing in there on 57, but I don't believe it. Phil 35 says, Gavin, I guess it is one of those ones. Age is really just a number, isn't it? Like, yes, your birth certificate says how old you are, but if you feel younger, like, just be younger, I guess you could say. Like, there's no point looking at age and being like, oh, I'm about this old, so I probably shouldn't do something. If you feel like doing it, bloody do it. That is good life advice. Other than, of course, if it's something that will cause serious harm or injury, probably don't do it. Might not be the good idea. And also, yeah, you're only as old as you feel, says Katie there. Currently still Wales on the halfway line. Going back to Tompkins. And we can once again hear a little bit more of the English crowd. To Lupe Faletau finds the ball on the inside. Cuthbert knock on, though. That is going to be scrum feed now to England with 6 minutes left. This game is getting closer and closer to its peak. And it's crescendo. Is that the right name for a finish of a musical piece? I did some great sports, though. I did see some great sports, though. A highlight was Lions Tour in 1974 in South Africa. Just incredible. There says Gavin. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you always have those matches that you remember. Like, when you are... Like, for me, it's going to be the MCG. Probably that's the only cricket game that I've actually gone to in recent history. Same with rugby. I haven't been to a rugby game since I was about 6, believe it or not. So that will be another one I'd love to do, is either watch an All Blacks test or maybe go to a World Cup final. Something like that would be absolutely incredible. Joe Marchant now, he is going to be going off, or coming on the field, sorry, it will be. And also, is there any way Wales can win now, says M. Poppins? They've got 6 minutes. They win a scrum penalty here, get a try, and then they still have time to score another one. But they will have to make sure that they work quickly and probably don't leave it till later than about 77 to get yourself that try. And where did you grow? Where did you find grow up? Where did you grow up? I think that would be Gareth. And if that is myself, possibly. Or is it Gavin? Might be Gavin. You're asking Gavin or myself, Gareth. And England should hold. And there says Gavin. They've got a nice, comfortable lead of 11 points. And I know 11 doesn't sound like a huge amount, but it's a converted try and it's another try. They need 2 tries to be able to win this one from here, Wales. Whereas England, if they get themselves another conversion, they will just keep on increasing the lead, and that would be 2 converted tries to draw this game. Currently out feeding this ball in. Dom Brand off the back if he wants it. Going to be wheeling away. It's an advantage, and it's a penalty to England, which is exactly what they would have been after there. My voice almost didn't want to go that loud when I tried to raise it, and England all fired up with that one. And this is going to use up a little bit more time on the clock also, which is a big bonus. But Marcus Smith going to be kicking this one for the touchline. I grew up in South Africa and spent 3 years in England, says Gavin there. Because that's the thing. I'd love to be able to go, I feel like a bucket list thing is to go to every, real major stadium in each country. I mean, we're in South Africa, says Gareth, such as, if I was to go to, England, go to Twickenham, go to Wales, go to Principality Stadium, Scotland, Murrayfield, South Africa. South Africa's probably a tricky one to choose, but you'd probably go Johannesburg, wouldn't you? Or Loftus, maybe. So penalty now to Wales and Port Elizabeth. And there says Gareth, and also nice one, England, says Scott. Not releasing there for Jamie George. Now only 4.5 minutes left, and Dan Bigger will be kicking this one for the touchline here. And also, Gavin, by the time I was 12, I lived in Africa, USA, and Jamaica, so I understand the feeling of not having a home, says Naomi there. See, I guess that's the thing. I've been to Australia. I went to Indonesia for about a week in Bali. Oh, is that a deliberate knockdown? Or not really deliberate, but it was. And then a knockdown from Dan Bigger. I believe they said that it went backwards, though. And also nice. I love Port Elizabeth. I also went to just about every Eastern Province rugby and cricket game, says Gavin there. Now throwing this one to the back. It's a loose ball in England claiming it. Joe Marler is the man who was able to get the turnover. And that is something that Wales could not afford. Ben Youngs now puts up the box kick. This is all using up valuable clock time that Wales do not have left. They do want to get back into this game. If they get themselves a try, though, that gives them the bonus point. I'm sure that they'll be looking at trying to get themselves a full 7 here if it is physically possible, and the full 5, in fact, as that would be the 2 tries which they are after. Back across now once again. Dan Bigger goes off to it. Was big number 19, Seb Davis. I see that. I think that's Will Rowlands has stayed down for a little bit longer looking to try and pass it, but they didn't quite get the momentum they were after. Adam Beard up to the halfway line. Was Masterton's coffee and down those days, says Gareth. Now Dan Bigger goes back across. Big contact. And that is something we have seen so many times throughout this match. It's huge contact between players. Josh Adams now out on the wing. Hard by Joe Marchant, who almost wrestles him to the ground, almost kicks him in the face as well, just for his troubles. I think Joe Marchant straight away did say, I think I accidentally kicked him there. So they are going to be just checking a medical attention out there on the field. Currently going down the wing for Wales, and also totally relate about never finding home. And there says down, I wanted to go to Jamaica. I'm in Florida now. I play more cricket than you could imagine. Really hurt losing that. No cricket in the US, says Gavin. See, that's another sport. I'd love to see the US pick up cricket because they've got a lot of players some of those fellas who that's a penalty to Wales. Okay, they've got 2 minutes left. They almost have to take the quick tap here. or kick it for the corner straight away. Time off. Okay, clear down over here. So it's going to be Josh Jennings. I see that someone else is bleeding at the moment. I think it's Will Rowlands. It's been cut open, but Josh Jennings, he doesn't look like he quite knows where he is. So, well, it's him and Joe Martin. And then after that, he actually got the kick to the head, which wouldn't have helped him out too much in terms of trying to regather his composure. But yeah, I feel like it would be cool seeing USA take on cricket in the near future, or maybe next 10 years, because I know that they want to host a Cricket World Cup, I believe I heard. The best way to host one is to have a side in it. Be a good start, but Liam Williams back out on the field. Currently 2 minutes left in this game, and they're going to have to kick this one straight for the touchline. Lived in Jamaica for 17 years. I found home last year on my farm in Wales, says Naomi, and also come on Wales there from Claire. Okay, just the HIA, they're just checking it. I think it's going to be all right. Now, they can't take the 3-year Wales because that would still keep them outside of the 7 points. Marcus Smith gets player of the match. He's got it quite a few times in a row at the moment, Marcus. Baseball's too big. What is now really taken off in USA as soccer MLS. Will be a top 5 league in 10 years. And also, yeah, come on, Wales, says Caitlin there as well. I do enjoy watching the MLS. It's always a good time watching one of those games. I think that's Will Rowlands getting a lot of strapping on the head here, trying to stop all the bleeding. The clock is on as well. Okay, now time is off. That's unfortunate for Wales because that's used up about 30 seconds of the time that they couldn't really afford to have used up. Time is off. They are just waiting. They've got 6 men in the line out. I think he's just complaining a little bit there, Dewey Lake, about the spacing. Okay, Wales taking a little bit more time to patch up the soldier who has got a little bit of a wound on the forehead. I'm glad you settled clear. Wales is a fabulous sports country. Okay, time is on now, so this will now rush Wales into having to take this line out rather than just sit him back. And also, look at the air. Come on, Wales, says Caitlin there. Going to the back now, taken nicely by Seb Davis. This is for the bonus point to get within 7 here for Wales. So at this point in time, maybe the game is gone, but the bonus point certainly is still available for them. Luke Falatau plays halfback off to Nick Tompkins. Now runs straight at Marcus Smith. He's been able to make the tackle to him. Come on, England. Absolutely gutted here. And bless the boyos. And this is clear, although they will be able to hopefully fight back in their next game. There's going to be a knock-on advantage here for Wales. Only 45 seconds left now. So as long as it's not after... or as long as it's not, it's a penalty. It's turned into a penalty. Quick tag taken or quick tap taken. Scoring the try there, does he? Yes, he does. And Wales will get themselves a bonus point. They've got 30 seconds. They might almost have time. Dan Bigger's going, give me the effing ball, I think was the comment there from him. Got fired up big time there, Dan Bigger. Does he kick it over? Kieran Hardy ends up scoring it. They've taken a quick conversion, and I believe they've got time for one more play in this matchup. But Dan Bigger, he was furious with the fact that they weren't willing to get that ball straight away. But that one has gone over. Or has it? Yes, it has 4 points difference now between these two sides. And yes, and try Wales. And lots of games to come clear. And yes, he's given but a good bit of work there from Kieran Hardy. Just drives himself at the line. Great game, says Sky, and it's not over yet. Still got one more reset that is going to be coming in this one. And game, is it over yet, says Katie. Exactly right. Currently, Kieran Hardy keeping Wales in this one. England will be kicking off in Wales. I gave the game away on penalty, says Timed. That one. And yeah, just a few too many early on against them, unfortunately. Kicking off long now, Marcus Smith actually willing to take on the long kick. Lupe Falatau takes it. 4 points difference between England and Wales here. Currently, at worst, England, all Wales will be getting a bonus point. And last push, come on, Wales. And when you're starting your online therapy sessions, says Gavin there, is that for myself? I assume, although Dan Bigger is probably the man, does need a little bit of that anger management at this point in time. He was furious with the fact that they weren't giving him the ball. Currently now Wales, they've still got a long way to go. 80 metres here. See if Davis goes back. Wide cutout pass now, starting to link up nicely to Lupe Falatau on the outside. If they do find him, he slips over. Was his foot in touch? No, he's still going to be there. It's almost stolen by England, but it's still available for the Welsh. Up to 6 phases now, continuing to build forward. Going to be Will Rowlands. You do not want to be the man who messes up here in this back line. Granati goes back across. Dan Bigger. Nice pass off to Tompkins. Phase up to 8 now, and straight on the ball there for England. No, not able to turn it over. Hardy now goes back to Rowlands. In this game, is there still a late tail in this tape up to 82 minutes? It's going to be once again carrying the ball forward. It was Leon Brown on their 22, still here for Wales. 11 phases in. How tired will England get? They have to keep on making tackle after tackle after tackle. Dan Bigger now attacking. Out to Liam Williams out on the wing. That is due to Josh Adams having the head knock earlier on. I think Liam Williams might have just taken one there also. I think him and Liam Williams, or him and Marcus Smith, had a little bit of handbags down this bottom side. Now 12 phases in here. Going to be Jonathan Davis. Huge amount of experience on that man's head. That's still available here for Wales. Up to 14 phases now. Still inside of their 22, but they have not given up yet. Looks like it's close for the two players for England, and very good discipline from England so far here. Not willing to give away the penalty. Tompkins now goes back. Drawing pass, wide cutout pass now out to Liam Williams. Close to the touchline, flicks it back on the inside, still keeps the ball alive. And Cuthbert now cutting way back on the inside. Up to 83 minutes. Is this going to be an instant classic? It's a knock on. It wasn't supposed to go to him. Maybe it's a deliberate knockdown though. Or is it the end of the game? They're just going to check this one. Was there a deliberate knockdown there? If there was, this game will continue for a little bit longer. I think it's a deliberate knockdown, is the comment from the French touch judge. I feel like there was a terrible French accent. Hands as well, says Katie. So, like they're saying, a deliberate knockdown could be followed by a yellow card, and Wales will have the man advantage. Was Maro Itoje. Might have gotten himself in a little bit of trouble. I have to say that pass shouldn't have gone to that man in the first place. He wasn't the one that they were after. And howdy, man, my Amish. And well, what a game. Courtney Laws, the captain, got his finger. It got his finger. He only reached out with the one hand, and Laws did it. Says Katie Dixon. So I think this is going to be a penalty for a deliberate knockdown. And this could actually end up being a yellow card. Okay, it will be a deliberate knock-on, but it's not going to be a yellow card, so they still have 15 out on the field, but Wales now after 83 minutes through this game. And welcome to Chile, says KT Dixon. Also, hey, brother, how you do? So, surviving at the moment is the best way to say it for England. Kicks it into Dutch there for Dan Bigger, making sure it goes out. This line-out throw for Dewey Lake is absolutely huge, and no for us. Displays the expats, not you. In there, says Gavin. Currently now getting closer and closer. I think there are two actually teams playing in the MLS at the moment, aren't there? I think I just got a notification on my phone, but 4 points difference. Good, buddy. And there says David the Mole with the US and the New Zealand flag, throwing it to the front, taken nicely by Davis. Now flinging it across. No handling errors here for Wales. Could lead to a good opportunity. If they get themselves a penalty from here, they will kick for the corner. Dan Bigger passing it back across. This would be an amazing comeback from Wales if they were able to somehow get themselves over the line in this matchup. But currently I bit my tongue. That's unfortunate. Dan Bigger going back across. Maro Itoje, though, stealing the ball. The turnover is good. He gets back to his feet and now trying to reset, although Wales almost have they got that one back. No, they have not. And now it is going to be going back, and it does actually only have them at 17, doesn't it? There we go. Has updated itself, but that is going into Dutch, and that will be the end of the game. They blew it in there. Says Katie, and Wales have 19. Says Tim Limiter, but at the end of an absolute classic between these two sides. No tries in the first half, and then everyone just went out, guns blazing in the second, trying to make the most of it. Big hug from Joe Marler to Ben Youngs, congratulating him for 115 matches, the most capped international English player, and you're a machine. It's great call. Says David the Mod, damn well done, England, better side. Says Bob Jobs and Marcus Smith. He was fired up, and thank you for the stream, Amish. Says Katie Dixon with the George emojis there from David as well. But we have got another stream coming a little bit later on tonight, or today, I guess you could say. It is now morning here in New Zealand. We're up to our 5th live stream down. We've got 2 more to go. The next one's going to be about 7 hours. I hope you guys are ready for that one, because that's going to be a long one. But then also after that, we will have the live stream between Ireland and England, or sorry, Ireland and Italy. In fact, it will be. and that will be taking place a little bit later on in the day. Amazing comeback. Wales will have momentum. England question, says Gavin. In France at the Principality, going to be a cracker, says Gareth. And that one is coming up very soon. And Will Rugby Corrupt, says Hamish Spencer there. And also Lucky England, says Tim. And it should have been a yellow card, says Hamish Spencer. Yeah, it would have been. It was a 50-50 one, definitely, of whether or not he was going to get it. Disgusting, says Hamish Spencer there. But the next round of the Six Nations, it is going to be in a couple of weeks' time. Wales versus France, Italy versus Scotland, and England versus Ireland. That is also going to be a huge game, because someone out of those two, if Scotland end up winning their game up against Italy, they are probably still not quite in contention for being able to win the Six Nations. These two sides, England and Ireland, though, as long as France lose one of their last two fixtures, they can go on and possibly overtake them. But what a game of rugby we did just see. Yeah, the Proteas are doing well, says David. They are indeed. They might have us bowled out by the end of the morning session, perhaps, depending on how it goes. And then we will possibly be batting again. And England need to improve to beat Ireland, says Bob Jobs. And one moment, I'm just going to quickly check where that game was again. I just put it up, but I didn't actually register England versus Ireland. They're at Twickenham. I think if that game was at the Aviva, Ireland would be taking it. But Twickenham, it's a little bit closer. We're also doing Super Rugby next week. That's not Super Rugby. By moment, we will go like this, and we will go like that. Those are all the games of Super Rugby we are covering next week on the channel. Moana Pacifica versus the Crusaders, Fiji and Drua versus the Rebels, Western Force versus Reds, Blues versus Chiefs, Hurricanes versus Islanders, and then the Brumbies taking on the Waratahs. But the games that we did have for the Six Nations, they were both very close ones for times. Murrayfield did have Scotland and France. They were close for the first half, ran away with it in the second for France. Whereas in this game, it was more of the case of it was close in the second half, but in the first half, England were running away with it just a little bit more than France. And then that one, but we have got that well done to keep on your marathon. And thanks for providing an entertaining commentary, Amy. And there says, right, no worries at all, mate. And thank you very much for tuning in. It's been fun. Like, that's the thing. It's been about 10 hours of live streams we've done so far, maybe even a bit more than that, each live stream being over 2 hours. It's probably 11 hours of live streams we have talked for so far. It hasn't felt like 11 hours, though. It has been flying by, and I'm looking forward to the cricket. A little bit later on, that is starting in only about 3 hours' time. We will be back, and we will be live for Moana. And also, Moana aren't going to play, I bet, says Amos Spence, and also Vishal, me too. And also, sorry, I'm late to come, says Vishal. No worries at all, mate. And also, we have got there where we go, Ireland, says Katie. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning into the Six Nations live stream. Good stuff. I could have watched this, but had fun here, says Gavin. And that is what we love to hear as well. And we got plenty more of the Six Nations, plenty more URC, Gallagher Premiership, Six Nations, Super Rugby. You name it, it's going to be on the channel. And Irish Bro tomorrow, day 3. It's confirmed live with you, says Michelle. We are hoping to do as much of day 3 as we can until I end up falling asleep, pretty much. So at this stage, best case scenario, we start at 11. And best case scenario, we end at about 6:30 p.m. New Zealand time. So another 7.5 hours. Or I end up falling asleep after a couple of sessions. I was laying tomorrow, not missing your stream, and ditto. And there says David, and have a good rest. Sorry, Hamish. And thank you for all you do for us, says Katie Dixon. No worries at all. It's been a lot of fun. And like I mentioned, didn't feel like 11 hours. It flew by. And now I get to treat myself to probably something that is a breakfast food and a half. I might end up, what do I have? It's tea time for myself, but it's also morning. Pizza. No, pizza's probably not the best one. And thanks for the fun comments and helping me keep up with the games. Says clear, no worries at all. And restart, buddy. And they're from David the Mod. So yeah, I'll probably have a couple chilled out hours. Might be able to get my mum on the cricket commentary, which will be an exciting one to have her joining us. I thought I heard rain, but it's an applause at Twickenham, but nonetheless, and haggis, definitely not haggis. I might have, what's the closest thing to haggis that I've got? I've got ham, that counts. And also didn't deserve it. Wales were robbed. Should have been 19-17. And there says lying, and also eggs and chips, says Katie. That sounds like a nice meal. Sausages, eggs and chips, perhaps. Nice little Kiwi classic. And after session 2, day 2, after with your company, I watch and says Michelle there. Yeah, nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you all for the cricket and also for Ireland versus Italy a little bit later on. But thank you all very much for tuning in. And I will see you all. Wait a minute. I live in Twickenham. I went out and got a burger at halftime, says GB Games. And you can see the stadium from my loft. Jeez, nice one. What type of burger? I feel like I'm interested in the burger now as well. Ref was England extra man in the SSTV, and I'm about to have eggs and bacon at 2 p.m. Big love all, and sorry, day 3 of New Zealand versus South Africa, says Michelle. I feel like that burger comment. Now I'm interested in the burger, but we don't have burgers. I should get a burger, but we don't. Like, nowhere's open that can get a burger other than if I went like way up the road. And I was like, the heart from the May 5. I feel like I could easily talk all day, but I probably shouldn't if I do want my voice to last for the test match. Yeah, burgers, do enjoy them. Pizza's gotta love it. And can't beat a good hot chip. So thank you all very much for tuning in. But don't end it now. I don't think I ever will. So we'll see you all later on. Bison burger is damn good. Says Kevin, I haven't actually had a bison burger on myself. And I was watching a time match with you after tea, time break day 3. Says Michelle there in her heart from Katie Dixon, and cheers, says GV there. I've realized I've got a distraction again, or distracted again, haven't I? Thank you all very much for tuning in. Says Kevin there. And we will see you all